preparing to go live. Setting up.
Oh, he double put it up, huh?
Preparing to go live. Okay, yeah, yeah, we're live. Setting up.
Oh, he double put it up, huh?
Wait, let me mute the YouTube. All right, yeah, we good now.
Yeah, there we go.
Another Shade of Blue, episode 8. We're here. There was some beef in the process.
Shade of there was no beef, man. There was no beef.
We're good.
We always good. You my man. You my little brother, man.
Exactly,
so,
man.
There's never there's discrepancies, but there's never beef, man.
We haven't had discrepancies since 2001, mind you, though. But
and that was over a girl. Yeah.
And that was over. That was over a girl, though. But we fixed that. And then there was a catfishing thing that we went through with Cleve and Herbal Roots. And then it was Melinda. It was a girl. It was just a strange. It was the one that wanted it to be a dude and wound up being a girl. It was the strangest thing in the world. But yeah, he broke our hearts, man. That shit was crazy. But we're back. We're live.
It's funny that dude was he was from Corona, Queens, but lived in Alabama or something.
Alabama, from Corona, Queens. Lived in Alabama. Yup.
That's the first time man. That'd be the first time that we ever got catfished by a girl trying to play like a man. Yeah. And it was completely heterosexual way.
Right. And
it's not like we were gay and finding boyfriends or something like that. Like, no, this was just our friend. And then
this is our friend that was dope as hell, rapping wise. That dude was dope. And
then fronted.
We had a nice group called the Tragic Poets, and it was, you wanted it to be the dude, but it wound up being the girl, and the story was elaborate. We're telling the story too because Kas actually wanted us to tell the story together.
Why?
To him, it's the most fascinating story in the world.
He's the most fascinating person on the planet. So,
he is, but yes, he's the most. Let's not take away from the story, bro. The story was really interesting. This thing.
We got. I mean, it's really not that interesting. We just got catfished by a chick that wanted to be a male friend.
Right.
That's probably like the most. It's fascinating in the aspect of like a female trying to be like one of the guys and playing as a guy, and you know what I'm saying. And then she turned out to be. She was a very beautiful girl. She should have just kept it funky from up front. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like to sit there and say like I'm from Corona, Queens, and then like you went out to go meet her /him
in Corona
one night in Corona. Like she knew stuff that was going on, and like
in the neighborhood, she knew construction sites, the intricate details of the neighborhood. Because remember, my grandma Tony lived on 94th Street in Jackson Heights, so I was always there. And she would say, "Oh, you know the KFC that's under construction." I watched that. Wait, and remember, this is what 2001, maybe 2000, something like that. So there was no Google Maps. So how do you know the intricate details of stuff like that? Then she's like, you know that corner store? I'm living in the back of the store. It was just the craziest thing in the world. And we, it's one of those things where you wanted to be the dude. And I remember I got like so crazy about this dude, writing me letters and everything, saying he was in rehab, and it was just the most craziest thing. I had pictures of him in my living room. My family was coming over for holidays, asking who that was, and we had it was just the craziest thing. And I really fell for the dude. I know you were more on the outside looking in, though. You wasn't as crazy about the guy as I was, because you're always more reserved, like, but I was younger too.
Nah, because I'm cool. I'm cool with who I'm cool with at the end of the day.
Right. And then
I know how to it's weird. I know how to like catch vibes from people, and like I just tend to just energy wise, I just stay away from them. I just don't bother with them, So when I don't bother with them, I tend to steer clear of a lot of bullshit that could potentially happen. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I mean, it just sometimes, you know what I mean? It's not like she ever did anything to me specifically for me to like not talk to her. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just like, what do we have to talk about?
And I was,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you were already 19 or something. So it was a little different. And I kind of like got gravitated towards this person, and it was heartbreaking for me to find out that who I thought was my other brother, because it was the team. It was you and him and me, and we were the squad. We were that Queen squad. We had that Queens thing going on, and had the group going on and everything, and things kind of just
she had never even been to Queens. That's the funny part.
That's the craziest thing. And then remember that time on Yahoo voice chat, you were like, let's get him, because you were starting to feel like a little suspicious though. And then you were like, let's go into Yahoo voice chat. And remember, she came on like, he sounded like Michael Jackson. Maybe he said, hey, what's up? We were like,
I don't remember that.
That's when the
you gotta remember, I used to smoke a lot of weed. So,
yes, you did, because you were,
my life is a fog. There's a certain decade where I don't remember a whole lot. So,
well, I was really impressionable at that point. I was easy to be. So I remember every little detail of this thing. And then when he started talking like a girl, like, it was just a strange occurrence. And then I remember you were living in my building at the time with my grandma, and when the whole thing kind of exploded. And I remember I went upstairs and I said, yo, Cleve is some girl named Melinda. And you was like, oh, I knew it. You say, yeah, I knew it. You was like, fuck him. And then he was like,
fuck him, fuck her.
I had fuck her, whatever it was. And then I had tears in my eyes. It was just it was a sad event in our life. For me, at least, and there's a story every once in a while I'll tell, and it's just but these events actually happen, and we're not exaggerating nothing, things like this. But it was more to it than what we're saying. That we had friends like James JD always say, "Oh, no, Phil doesn't listen to anybody except for Cleve. Get Cleve." It was more the story than what we're saying.
I think that's what it was, because I think that's what it was, because I think I remember you constantly like talking to this person, and like they had more of like a string, like a hold on you than other people. Like people like you knew me like in real life. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you didn't, what I'm saying? Like, and it was just like, well, he's over there, like whatever he's doing with that person, I don't know what he's doing.
We had
not like it was like it was suspect or anything like that. It was just like, yo, whatever, that's his man or whatever, and like just to find out where just like, yo, that person is not who you think they are. The internet is a wild place, man. It really is. It just you could put yourself in situations that you really don't want to be in. You gotta be careful with that stuff.
It was a sad.
I should have been careful, because it's like there's a couple people that I mean not dudes, but like girls that I met off the internet where I'm just like, I probably shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Like in retrospect, there's certain things that I did that I probably would like, yo, I shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was tough times,
maybe.
bro.
Nah, because I mean that if you gotta remember back then, like we're millennials, but we're the very beginning of the millennials.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like there was a lot of stuff that they have now. Like we was like the Wild Wild West back then, where if you met somebody, like you knew nothing. Like now you can look somebody up, you can trail on the paper trail, you can get their address, you can get their phone numbers, like you get relatives, like all of that stuff now. And so like back then you couldn't do that. So it's just like there's a couple of girls that were amiss that like I met, and I'm just like, ooh, I probably shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there is. I think the only one that was kind of solidified was Jennifer.
That was whack.
That was just, you know what I mean? That is what it is.
That is what it is. It was a whack relationship, but see that.
No, Jennifer, it wasn't a whack relationship. It ended with whack.
I don't want to say that. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't want to say whack. Yeah, but Jennifer was to you how Cleve was to me. Like, we were just a big.
No, not really, because Jennifer was Jennifer. Like Cleveland wasn't somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like Jennifer was who she was. You know what I'm saying? Like she was a real person. Like she said
Cleve
she
was real, bro. Cleve is dead. Rest in peace to Cleve. Don't ever say that about old man Cleve, man.
He's like, be respectful.
He passed away, bro.
Don't piss on his grave, all right? I think the last time I spoke to her was in MySpace days. I don't know.
The Jennifer?
No. I'm talking about Melinda.
Melinda.
I don't know what happened to her. So.
You remember Nicole McDowell? like a few years ago, like 3 years ago, we found her. She and I collaborated and found Melinda. And Melinda joined the Navy, has a husband and everything. Yeah.
More power to it.
Yeah, that I remember. Oh, pretend like I'm Cleve and we'll act like the relationship. How am I gonna act the relationship still the same if I know you're not Cleve? It's just a strange occurrence, bro. It was the strangest thing in the world. Anyway, I'm repping. By the way, we miss you, Jared. Jared will be on the show Monday.
The Kyrie of podcast.
He's the Kyrie of YouTube podcast. Yeah, he's never around, bro. And he's getting that Kyrie, but you know,
when he's here, he puts 37 and 7, but like, you know, he's got to be here, right?
He got to be. You know, people tune into the show to see Jared. So, this shirt is for him. I'm repping. So he said all the Tupac hate supposedly I have, right? Who's right here on my shirt? Who is that? Is that not Tupac Shakur?
Yeah.
All right. So there you go.
But that's your valiant effort to discredit rappers of today, though.
Fuck mumble rap. Yeah. We don't do the mumble rap. You know what I mean? But right here, I got Tupac on my chest, bro. So everyone that's saying I'm on Tupac or whatever, this is it right here. I rep it Tupac. So
yeah, sorry, somebody was trying to call me.
Maybe it's
just the phone hooks up to the computer and just like, you know.
Well, you have an intricate system over there.
Well, I have all Apple products.
Right.
So everything's like interconnected with each other. Hold on one second. But yeah, I have all Apple products, so it's like, you know, so everything. So if I get a phone call or a text message, if I'm on the computer, it pops up on the computer. Like it's just like, and like I'll be working on music, and then somebody will call me and it'll pop up on here. So like whatever's like in my headphones or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, when I'm like making beats or like producing or whatever I'm doing, it just like I'll be like in my zone, in my world, and then like somebody will call and it'll just fuck everything up. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. All right.
That's
a pain in the ass.
That's why I just don't. You should just do what I do. Just don't deal with anybody.
I'm important to the people, man. I'm a man.
Now you are the man of the people.
I can't. There's times I want to, but I mean, like right now, I'm kind of in that mode right now where I'm like, I don't want to, like, unless you're real close, like you or, you know, a couple other people. Other than that, like I've kind of disconnected because I started working on other stuff. So I need that time where people will take up your time and just like for no reason. And it's just like, you know, I don't like to do interviews. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I do this, like the podcast or whatever with you, but like, I don't like to do interviews. I don't like to, you know what I mean, do like other people's podcasts. Like, you know what I mean? I'm kind of just in my own zone where I'm just like, just listen to the music or, you know what I'm saying? Or buy the art or whatever the case may be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you what you need, but just, you know, I don't want to sit here and talk about myself for an hour. I think that's what happened. Like we got the shirt on, right? I think that's what happened. It's like people got more enthralled with people that, you know what I mean, these rappers or whatever, with like the life, instead of like dealing with like the music. And that's why rappers are prevalent or relevant as they are now. Where it's like, because if they didn't have the internet, a lot of these people wouldn't exist.
No, it's true.
But they have the internet. They have the internet where people are like, I want to see your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day, before we get into sports, I remember back in the day when you would listen to somebody, you would listen to like Nas and you'd be like, oh shit, that's Nas. And then you wouldn't know, everything else was just mystique, right? You know, everything was a myth and like a legend. You didn't know, you weren't able to sit there and watch Nas all day on Instagram or YouTube or something like that. Like you literally had to sit and like wait for him to put something out or wait for MTV to play a video. Like, and it made it more fun than it is now. It's not fun anymore.
I remember when Cormega was like a myth to us. Like, right? He was like a figure. Like I was like, no one even knew how he looked like. He was just over there making crazy raps, dissing Nas, dissing everybody from Queensbridge and stuff. And then now it waters the product down. Now I know who he is. I see him all the time. It's just, I miss the mystery aspect of it. Like you had a lot of rappers like that back in the day. Lexicon and all that, like remember Nike Head and all of that stuff. That's all the, 13L or whatever. Those are the dudes that go way back. They were like mythical figures. Now it's like they see them all the time on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It waters the product down, man.
No, it definitely does, man. So I mean, it's not the same anymore.
No,
it's not the same for a lot of like art in general. It destroyed a lot of people because it's like you had the legends and the lore that went with the actual product, or what I'm saying, whatever the content you were creating. So it's just like when all of that got diluted by the fact that people needed to be involved with your lives
right
all the time. You know what I mean? That messes it up, Hold on a second.
Lisa's in a conference call right now.
Something. I don't know. Technical difficulties. It's my beautiful wife.
Yes.
She's talking in the background. Sounds like she's talking to my niece.
Yep.
Yeah. So
family, right?
But yeah. So I don't know. Let's get into Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown's been
talk about Kwame, please. Talk about Kwame, please, because this is a topic just as interested as Cleve. Talk about it.
Well, nobody has heard from this guy since draft night 20 years ago.
Yep.
Literally, nobody's heard nothing about Kwame Brown in 20 years.
Nope.
Even while he played for 13 years, you didn't hear anything about.
8 points.
Except for Stephen A. Smith, like once in a while, like they bring it up and well, he's a bona fide scrub, like the whole thing, and like you let it go or whatever, right? And then what they have the podcast, all the smoke, and then that Gilbert Arenas.
Yep. And I think it was the one with Jeannie Buss, wasn't it?
Well, that's where it started. That's where it started.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you keep moving around, you're gonna end up on the show.
Lisa.
So, but anyways, I forgot what I was saying.
The where it started from.
Oh, the Jeannie Buss thing, right?
Yeah.
So the Jeannie Buss, and then there was this little slick comments there, and then they did the thing with Gilbert Arenas, and then that's when it kind of like. I guess I didn't see that one. I saw the Jeannie Buss one, but I didn't see the one with Gilbert. But I guess that's when it kind of spun out of control, where it forced Kwame Brown to come out and just be like, "Hey, like that's not cool." Well, he said what he said. I'm not gonna reiterate that we swear on, we curse on here, but let's keep it G-rated, right? So like he went in.
He went in.
But here's the thing, and like the thing the recent like dialogue that we've had, like even when Todd was on the show, it's like we have a media machine that manufactures how we view people, and it was refreshing to have somebody like Kwame Brown. Yeah, he knows that he's not the greatest center of all time, was the greatest #1 draft pick of all time. He knows this, and he's never like sat there and like not taking accountability for it. And it's really, it was really refreshing to have somebody come out and say the things that he said, because it's like those things are true. Whereas like Charlamagne the guy was painting the picture about his father, his family business,
family detail
about like his dad and stuff. But that's the thing, Kwame Brown, with the things that he knew, Kwame Brown didn't even know about his father. So it's like, what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? So you deliberately are painting these pictures on these people. They're just regular people. It's like we were just talking about earlier with like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony was painted as this unmanageable player by George Karl, by Phil Jackson, like, and to the point that he had to sit out a whole year just to get back in the game. He had to get on TV to state his claim as though, this is why I should be in the NBA.
And that guy's a legend. Carmelo's
a legend, yeah.
A legend. It's no other way around it.
I think it's truly whack how like we we have a machine that literally is dictating to us like who are the stars, and I feel like that's the problem, and it's the problem, same problem in my industry, right? As far as art and music and stuff is concerned, and sports and entertainment, it's like you have these people that want to be gatekeepers. Steve and the gatekeepers are feeling like they're starting to become as big as the superstars, right?
Yep.
It's like you have Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is outside of himself because he thinks he's on the level of like Jordan or something like that. And it's like, bro, you're just a reporter. So you caught, and like that's where Kwame Brown was right, and where Jalen Rose is right. And Jalen shouldn't hold back. He should gun him like he did Skip Bayless. Like, bro, you don't know anything. Like, you know about sports, but you don't know about sports. You haven't been on the court. You haven't been like, you know what I'm saying? Like you haven't been on a college level. I don't know. I don't think he played college, right?
I don't. Who's Stephen A?
Yeah.
Winston-Salem or whatever, but it's something with that.
Very small, yeah.
He had a leg injury. Blew his leg out or whatever.
You didn't play in the league. You didn't play in the league. Like, you're not the man. So why you know what I'm saying? And I feel like he does that with other people, where he trying to like, you know, stronghold them with how he talks to be like, yo, I'm the man. And it's like, you're not the man. All you're supposed to do is funnel the information from the athletes and games that you watch to the public. And that's it. We have these, and that's the problem with media. We have too many opinion-based shows instead of actual factual shows.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah, it ruins things. You know what I mean?
The Jalen Rose with Skip Bayless thing, that was it was funny, but at the same time, it wasn't funny because what he was saying was true. Skip talk about he was the star player. Pistol Pete. And everything, and then when he researched it, he said, "You water Pistol Pete." He said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You play 1 point something minute. You average 1.2 points a game and play like 3 minutes a game."
Yeah, you're not the man that you think you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and then you see when Stephen A. tried to take some shots with James Harden, he was throwing up bricks.
And that's what they do. They try to control this narrative, man, and they try to put these players, and it's a lot of pressure on these players to begin with. You don't need, you know what I'm saying? You don't need somebody that's not really part of the sport. This is why I don't get mad. Like, we've had the discussion about Kyrie. This is why I don't get mad at Kyrie, because he's right. Because it's like, I just shouldn't have to talk to you. Like, you guys think your jobs are bigger than ours now that we have to talk to you. Like, we don't have to talk to you. You know, like, it's stipulated in contract, like, to talk, to do media stuff and stuff like that. But it's like, what is the reasoning for? You know, all you're going to do is all you're doing is trying to get headlines for yourself, so you get a pay.
They try to spin it.
It's not about it's that's what I'm saying. It's the spinning. You're spinning stories, and you're not talking facts anymore.
It's true, and they're trying to spin it now. Like, I seen Rob Parker and this guy. What's his name? He's Chris Broussard. They were saying that Kwame Brown is upset because before you had the journalists commented on them. And they was like, "Oh, but you never played the game. You don't know what you're talking about." But now when players doing it, now what are you going to say? Because now you have players criticizing other players. So they were saying, now take it out on them because they played the game. They know what it's about. So now what are you going to do? You can't spin that anymore.
But here's the thing. I don't think Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, I don't think they're marginally better than Kwame Brown.
Not so much. At least, especially Matt Barnes. I thought Steven Jackson was a decent player.
Yeah, Steven Jackson was a decent player, but I mean, like, I feel like Matt Barnes, he rode the bench until like that 1 year in LA where
Do you remember him with the Knicks?
I think he was. No, I don't even remember him with the Knicks. That's the problem.
Yeah, I remember him. With Larry Brown. It was his rookie year. We had him.
It's like you trying to say, but like, you had the luxury of playing with Kobe. You had the luxury of playing with like Chris Webber.
The Dwight Howard in his prime.
Playing with Steph Curry and, you know what I'm saying, playing with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and got a ring out of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you had certain luxuries that Kwame Brown didn't have.
Yeah, I think Kwame Brown's probably a better player than Matt Barnes. When you look at it.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
Because I was actually checking some of his YouTube stuff out. He shut down Shaq one game. Then one game he had like 30 and 15. when he wanted to play, he was a decent player. He was a pretty good player. I think he's better than Matt Barnes, in my opinion.
He made over $60 million over 12 years.
Yeah.
If you're really
that bad, look at Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry had that one good year with us. That was 2005 or something like that, and
he bottomed out.
And then he fell apart.
You know what I'm saying? You have all these players
that got drafted that bottom. You know what I'm saying? Who's the dude that got drafted after Kyrie? Bennett?
Anthony Bennett? He's the biggest bust in NBA history that nobody talks about.
So it's like Kwame Brown played for 12 years, 13 years.
Yeah,
he
13
made his
years,
money.
Been to the playoffs. He wasn't. But look, the best player in that draft was Pau Gasol. And Pau Gasol was all right. For me, he was a good player.
Yeah.
But second was Tyson Chandler. That draft stunk, though. That draft was awful. And then the Michael Jordan factor comes into play, though, too. It's like Michael Jordan rides your ass, and then he breaks you down. Sort of like what Kevin Garnett did to Big Baby Glenn. Remember, he had him crying on the bench and stuff. Jordan just wears you out. You know, 18 years old, he ruined your confidence. He ruined his confidence. But you know what? When I listen to Kwame Brown, if you take the racist stuff aside, the dude knows what he's talking about. I mean,
what racist stuff?
Everything's white boy, white daddy, your white father. But it's always about white people. He always gets at white people. But
he's got a point.
Yeah, he's proven a point. And if you take that away, he knows what he's talking about. I mean, to me, he's entertaining. I never heard him speak until this whole beef started.
I'm saying as far as the white daddy thing, he's right.
As far as, yes, he always tells Matt Barnes, he called Matt Barnes back with the good hair.
That was just funny. But I'm saying over in the overall construct of things, in the overall construct of thinking, he's right in the capacity that all these people are taking money from white executives, and they're essentially doing whatever those people want for, doing it for them. They're not doing it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like the only independent people that are allowed to do that is somebody like a Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
Or like Joe Budden, where they've learned how to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Bill Simmons couldn't be put in a box by ESPN, and that's why it never worked.
Yep.
And he never worked for. I don't think he worked for Fox at all, right?
No, I don't think so. Nope.
The podcast culture saved him because it gave him that vehicle where he could just, all right, you could do the sponsorships on your own. You don't have to work for iHeartRadio. You don't have to work for Disney or Universal Studios or any, whatever these corporations are tied into. And so, like, when you're tied into those corporations, you got to do what they tell you to do.
Now, doesn't the podcast that they're on, Charlemagne owns that, right? That's his.
That was news to me. I'm not really sure.
I believe that's Charlemagne.
I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case.
I believe that's the case, and that's why Charlemagne jumped in. And it's one of those things where it's like you're pretending like you're trying to help somebody, but you're dissing him at the same time. Like, oh, just leave him alone. But then you're saying his family psychopaths and killers and murderers. And, it's just, I don't like Charlemagne as it is. So it's kind of whack. He's corny. I remember him running down the block because they were beating his ass. But, that's neither here or there, though.
Well, and he's another issue that I had, like, especially in dealing with my industry. I don't like Charlemagne because I feel like it's the same thing I feel about Stephen A. And it's like, I feel like Charlemagne is making it points to not demasculate black men. But I mean, in a way it is, because it's like, we need to have the conversation of mental health, yes. But I mean, at the same time, we have to be careful of victimization.
Yep.
And having that tie into cancel culture and things of those nature. But those are the very slippery slope. You know what I mean? You can't just, you can't just, go to victim role of like, PTSD or whatever. Not every black person has PTSD.
Right.
Despite as popular belief it may be. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that, people that grew up in the city like you and me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We deal with certain
things as far as, things that we've had to deal with growing up. But like that, not everybody, it's that case, So, I think it's to have the blanket statement or whatever. It's just exhausting, man. And you know what I mean? And that's why I think it's good for Kwame to come out and just be like, hey, check this out. This is what it is. These people are lying to you. They've been lying to you. Don't believe the hype.
Yep.
They cool. They might be cooler than me. That might be, what I'm saying? You might think they're cooler than me, but here's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like
frustration.
Yeah. Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't played in like what, 7-8 years? Why are you bringing him up? Why are we talking? You know what I'm saying?
It's not bring him up just to bring him up.
But that's the thing. People need to understand that, like, people are like, oh, you're a scrub. It's like what he said. I don't know if you saw that video with Cam Newton with the football camp. When the kid told him he was a scrub, he was like, yo, you're a bum. The high school kid.
Yeah, I remember they spoke about it.
The coach had to come in.
My memory.
Yeah, Cam Newton had a football camp, and like he was teaching the kids something, and one of the kids in the back yelled out, "Yo, you just a bum, though." You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta listen to. You're a bum. You're washed.
Unbelievable.
And it's like, bro, like, you know how hard it is to be like just to be a quarterback in the NFL, not to be a great quarterback. We're not even getting to that point yet.
Just to be on the practice squad.
That's it. That's it. So it's like, you know what I mean? That's the problem. The media and like the internet has like somehow closed this gap in people's like psyches where they think they can say whatever to anybody. Like that's why it's transpiring into like people spitting on Trae Young.
I was just about to get to that. Yup. 100%.
Throwing popcorn on Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook.
You know what I'm saying? Or throwing their beer at Ron Artest, or you know what I'm saying? Like people think we live in a time where people think they can do whatever to anybody, and you know what I'm saying? Because basically, I paid my ticket. You can deal with whatever I tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it don't work like that.
No, it does not.
I'm still a human. That person is still a human being. Like, granted, I get it. Trae Young he incited whatever happened by being who he is.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying? From game one,
it's a game, bro.
Yeah, but it's not. You just not spitting on him. You spitting on 50 Cent's chick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She caught some reflection.
Yeah, she caught. She caught a straight bullet. You know what I mean? Like
spitting bullets and spitting got no names on them, brother. You know what they say.
I'd be tight. I'd be angry.
I'd be tight too. I'm
like, yo, I don't care if you ban him, but I still want to meet him outside for 5 minutes. We need 5 minutes.
Disrespect. You know what I mean? Like, saying that, it's one of those things, bro. You got to respect your opponent too. I know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. Like he's telling everyone to shut up, but then they're saying he's balding and F him and this and it.
Who?
No, Trae Young.
Oh.
The crowd was screaming Trae Young's balding and F Trae Young and spitting on him. At some point, act like you've been there before. The Knicks have had many playoff battles and stuff. Trae Young, he's not Reggie Miller. You know what I mean? It's like
you know what it is though. This generation don't understand. 20 years ago,
we've been there before.
They were kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They get it because they were kids, but like they don't understand. I think people were overly eager for these games to happen. And plus, on top of the fact, we've been in the house for over a year. So, like, you know what I mean? It was good for us to all, like, get into one building and, like, be, like, whatever. But, I mean, the first game was the first game, I thought they were going to pull it out.
Yeah. Me too.
So.
But we're giving him like something he doesn't deserve, though. He's not Reggie Miller. I've seen Reggie Miller with the choke thing with Spike Lee. This is nothing compared to it. Make your shots and go home, bro.
I mean, I think he's flashy in
that way.
I didn't think
it was gonna escalate. That's the thing about it. Like, he's a flashy player, but like I didn't feel like the situation he needed to be polarized. Nah. But I think the reason why the situation was polarizing is because it was the first playoff game, and then you had the house is packed. Everybody's in there. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect storm. Like, perfect storm.
Yeah. So like the hype.
It's the same thing with like Jeremy Lin. It's like, all right, I respect Jeremy Lin, but it's like it was a hype train.
Well,
when he went somewhere else,
he didn't do nothing what he did during that stretch, and I that's attributed to D'Antoni, the system, the way it gave Jeremy Lin value. So going back to this, it's hard to say, man. I didn't feel like I think they're like making it bigger than what it has to be. With the series.
Two evenly matched teams, and the Hawks were red hot going into the playoffs. And the thing is, when you watch the game, the Knicks are missing an offensive piece. One more piece. We need someone else that can score when Randall and Barrett are not hitting shots.
No, yeah.
And you can see it. We need a point guard. I love D Rose and everything. We need a starting point guard next year. I mean, this series is not over, but we need an offensive.
I think Derrick Rose can do it.
I'm always nervous with him, though. I'd rather have him come off the bench. The Knicks are a bench squad. They play better when he comes off the bench.
No, I'd rather have him start.
How about quickly?
That's kind of the
first good dose that I've had, because I haven't really watched much Knicks games this year. So this is like really kind of the first dose I've had on a lot of players.
Yeah, they just don't score. They don't score enough.
I like how quickly moves. He's able to get to the basket. I respect that.
He got that little floater going on.
He just needs to work on his game over the summer as far as finishing. That's all.
Yeah.
Other than that, he'll be good.
And you know what? We haven't talked about it, but we're missing Mitchell Robinson, and that's a big piece right there too. He's not there. So you got Taj Gibson, Noel, and no threat.
They're doing a good job, though.
Yeah, no, they're doing a good job. They're doing an excellent job, but there's no force in the middle. The Knicks and Capella's just rebounding everything that goes his way. It's crazy right now. So if we lose this series, I'm not going to be heartbroken about it. I mean, we're still in progress. We're a work in progress. So I'm good where we're at. I'm good just getting to the playoffs. The Knicks are back. They got all the cap in the world. They have all the first round picks in the world. So it's only going to get better. RJ Barrett is only 20 still. So it's like, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
You might have to get some people out there to get better.
We need a point guard.
The sacrifice.
I don't know about all that. I really don't. I think Rose has managed his body very well. I mean, you see him last night. How many minutes?
30 points. So he had 30 last night. 30. Like 40 minutes last night.
If you can manage, you could keep him as a starter. If you can manage his flow, his minute flow throughout the season.
Because let's be honest, this is the reason why he's in the shape that he's in.
It's because of Tom Thibodeau.
Oh yeah, big time.
Maxing out his minutes to the point he tore his ACL. People can say whatever. That's just the truth at hand.
Nah, because with Thibodeau, you don't get no breaks, bro. You in there the whole game.
Right. But
I think Randall and Barrett are burnt out. I think they're just burnt out. Randall and Barrett.
Well, yeah.
They're burnt out.
Because you got to think
like this, right?
Let's call it what it is.
Last season,
that was Barrett's first season, right?
Yes. Awful.
And then the season ended
early for them, right? They didn't go back into the bubble at all, right?
No, we were one of the only teams not in the bubble.
See, that's the problem. He never was able to hit his rookie wall.
No, nope.
play through a rookie wall. This is the first time in first season where he's had to go all the way through, and like he's got to hit that wall and like get. That's how you get better. It's like hitting. It's like tradition. Like you hit the rookie wall where your numbers are going to slump towards the end.
Yep.
Because you're new to the 72, but 82 game season where he didn't have that last year at all.
No.
So it's like, you know. So I think it's a good learning tool for Barrett. Randall, I don't know. I don't think he's a good one option.
No, what two option? He's a good two?
A two, maybe three.
Good 2.5?
2.5.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
They need somebody that's more because he's a great player and he had a phenomenal year. I won't take anything. I won't say he's a bum. I won't say none of that. He had a phenomenal year. But you can't depend on him. Somebody that hasn't been there.
Right. That's the problem.
It hasn't been there enough to see somebody put a team on their back.
Because look at his sons right now.
He got to see it with Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe's different.
Oh, it's like Jordan with like Kwame Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe's just gonna do it. He don't care what you're gonna do or not gonna do.
Right.
Just make sure you're there and you hit your shots. You know what I'm saying? In your spot. You know, make sure you know what I mean, provide spacing and all those things. Like, so and that was the tail end of it anyways, where they weren't making the playoffs. Kobe was just out there just doing Kobe things, and that was it.
Yeah, no, they were awful towards the end with Kobe. Yeah. They were brutal. Yeah. They were making the Knicks look good at some point. Remember that? I used to love when the Knicks went to LA or they came here because we were guaranteed to beat them. They were awful.
Yeah.
They were god awful. And Kobe kind of, he didn't go out. Didn't he? His last game, what was it, 70 points he put up though? His last game, I think 70-something, 72.
Who, Kobe?
His final game, Kobe. Did he put up 60? 62. 62?
I think so. Either 60
or 62. One of them.
Yeah. So he went out with a bang.
But think about it, he shot 50 times.
That's the problem with him. That was
people get like caught up in the moment
and like, he's one of the greatest of
all time. But I mean, like, don't get it twisted. Like he chucked a lot of shots.
He chucked a lot.
No disrespect to Kobe, rest in peace. But you chucked a lot of shots, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like to shoot 50 shots in a game.
And he kind of
you got 4 other people on the floor, like, bro.
And he kind of handicapped them too, because he was eating up all their cap space. I mean, he wasn't giving, even when he was declining, he wasn't like cutting them no breaks and nothing. So he didn't go out on top with them, but he was, obviously one of the greatest players ever. And he did win 4 or 5 championships, right?
Yeah.
So
5 championships.
Yeah. So he was, you can't take too much away from him. But that's what I was gonna ask you too. Going back to the Kwame Brown thing, he had a point. Because when Jeremy Lin was on their show, they were kissing his ass, all smiling and loving Jeremy Lin. And he was like, so now you're gonna bring another black man down and you're gonna kiss the ass of this dude. It's just, he has points. I understand what he's saying. Jeremy Lin wasn't a great player either. It's not like Jeremy Lin, is going to the Hall of Fame. No. So Kwame Brown had a point. I just wanted to bring that out because I noticed that the other night.
It's hard to say, man.
It is what it is. You have a media machine. It goes back to what I was saying. You have a media machine that wants to make people look bad. It's
like the shit with Lamar Odom.
Oh yeah, well that's sad, man.
Like, it's like you made him
you push Lamar Odom to a point that he actually started doing drugs.
Yeah, it's true. I hate to laugh, but it's true.
That's the sad part about it. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? You have like these people that like, if you do them wrong or they don't like you, they're able to say whatever they want to say about you and people believe that shit. And it's just like, you can't do that to people. And it's, see, the thing about it is Kwame is he's the smartest one out of all of them. Because when you watch like his streams or whatever,
he's extremely intelligent.
Like he's talking cognitively about things. It's not like he's sitting there like, and like he's copping pleas or like backpedaling on anything. He's like, no, you guys are saying that I'm the bum. I'm not even mad that I'm a bum. I'm just mad because this is how you treat people, and this is how you're not supposed to be treating people.
Yeah, I mean, and he can't be so much of a bust. He did play 13 years in the NBA. I mean, he wasn't first pick worthy, but who was in that draft? I mean, you know, I don't know.
It's a touchy subject because there is a racial component to it.
And that's why he's pissed off, because there's other black people putting him down. You know, so I agree completely. There's no.
You can't do that to people.
No, you can't. You can't. And and I listen to him. I listen to every word that guy says, and I just nod my head and say he's right. He's right, 100%.
We spent too long tearing each other
down for no reason.
It's true, because you see it even on Facebook. But that's in every look. There's no secret, right? This is the problem. Yeah. You get a white guy when he starts something up, and he lives in the suburbs and things like that. The support is there. Then you get people like us from the hood and the projects, and then we're trying to get something going, and it's more like everyone's turning the other way. We don't lift each other up. Coming from the hoods and the ghettos and stuff like that, we kind of just like, it's all men for themselves at that point. White, black, whatever, Spanish, it doesn't matter. There's just in the ghetto in general, there's no. You don't pick the next man up. It's so competitive. It's almost like a dog-eat-dog world. And then in other communities, I see it's more like a town. The town raises each other. Like they just look out for each other more. I don't know if that's a New York thing. I don't know. Maybe that's a New York thing.
No, it's not. It's an everywhere thing. Because
it's everywhere thing? Okay.
You have to think about it. It's to me, what back to saying, the
media tells you what you want to hear, and the media trains your brain to think a certain way. We're coming up on the 100-year anniversary of Tulsa Massacre.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
And a lot of people don't
know about the Tulsa Massacre. The Tulsa Massacre, you know what I'm saying, and how devastating that was to like our own people.
Like we had our own. We had our own movie theaters. We had our own churches, our own pastors, our own doctors, our own lawyers. We had our own stores, gas stations. We were functioning basically, a subset town of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That a neighborhood or whatever you want to call it, like we had everything of our own, and they destroyed that.
And that's why.
So what does that tell you when you keep building something, like you keep building the proverbial sand castle? It's somebody comes by with the bigger castle, and they come by and just destroy yours, just off the potential of what you're capable of building. Not because of any reason, just because they just like, nope, you can't have that, and just kick theirs over. That's all it is, and like the constant thing, and it's like. When those things were happening, it trained our brain to think that, like, well, we not good enough for that, or like, you know what I'm saying? They tear our things down, so like, it's a teach mode. It's indoctrination. It's conditioning, and it's like, and we get to that point. So that's the point that we're at now, where it's like we're starting to wake up a little bit, but it's like, Kwame Brown is right about like Stephen Jackson. It's like, yo, you want to be a gangbanger, but then you want to be Mr. BLM, and it's like you can't have your foot in both lanes. It's like Hassan Campbell talking about my song. It's the same thing. Like, yo, you trying to be gangster, I'm outside, but like you trying to be the righteous man. Like, yo, bro, pick a side.
And then you seen that thing where he had the gun. He pulled the gun out last week or something like that, and
I love that.
There's some crazy stuff,
Because there's the thing. You have to check. Here's the thing. People act like that's crazy, but white people do that shit all the time.
All the time.
In middle America, you don't think twice about doing something to somebody because they got their gun in the car because they allowed to do that. They're allowed to have guns. Like, we're not allowed to have guns here. No, but like out in the rest of the country, they're allowed to have guns in the vehicle. They can carry it with them in the grocery store. All types of stuff, man. So, like, with that being said,
I love the fact that he stood up for himself. Because you can't have all these dudes, like, you can't have goons walking around, like, saying whatever slick shit and then making threats and all that. You got to pull something.
But
you know what I'm saying? Like,
he got to be making decent money on YouTube, right? At some point, you're from the streets and everything. You have a good reputation. Everyone knows him and everything. At some point, do you just say, you know what? Those days is over. I'm not going back there. I'm not putting myself in a situation where I have to pull a gun out, though. It's not all, I mean, he's going through the projects again and all that. At some point, you just have to smarten up and say, you know what?
We had a time, but you got to understand something. We had a point that white people can walk in the hood every day and don't nobody say nothing. It's when a brother goes through the neighborhood and it's a problem.
Well,
and it's a brother that grew up there, that lived there, that's from there. So what's the problem? Why are we having issues?
Yeah, but you know what happens with him though? He calls out a lot of individuals and he says someone from his neighborhood gets killed. He's on YouTube talking about it, and sometimes he gets slick. And he has all those things like turn your TV off, they snatch the soul from him and all this stuff. Yo, you know, when you're saying stuff like that, people have feelings. There's another side. Whoever you talk about, there's another side to it. Someone else is on the other side looking at him. Kind of funny. And you made it. He has a beautiful house. He's upstate or whatever. You made it, bro. Stay over there. You know, at some point, do you not have to keep coming back to the hood anymore? Then he's beefing with other YouTubers in Harlem and everything, you know. Come on, man. You got kids, bro. It's like, just stay home. You already proved your point. We know who you are. We know you're about that street life and stuff like that. You don't have nothing to prove to nobody. You did your time in jail and everything. The people on the streets know you. They know what you're about. Stay home. You made it. You don't have to be walking through the projects every night. You know what I mean? It's like you're putting yourself in a position where you have to break your gun out. I mean, I don't know. If they said it might have been a fake gun, I don't even know. But
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you already made it. You don't see Nas in Queensbridge all the time. You don't see, you know, Cormega's not in Queensbridge every day. Sometimes you when you make it, you make it. You just help from a distance. You know, look what happened with Nipsey.
But I mean, like,
and he got killed.
But like, they're more than you think at times. They do.
I know Roxanne Shante is still living there. I know that for a fact.
I mean, you know what I mean? There's people that are just out here and like, it's crazy because the way things have changed in New York, for instance, the neighborhoods aren't the same. Like you have you got people that live in the projects, but across the street you have condos.
Well, look at Woodside projects.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say what I said before. It's like this is the problem, and that's what it goes back to, like the conditioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll let a white person walk through your neighborhood with a stroller and her poodle with her purse, and she don't care. She got her sunglasses on. She don't care. She know you're not gonna touch her.
Her cup of Starbucks.
But like you see somebody that you had a problem with 20 years ago, and you ready to go up. You know what I'm saying? Like they grew up in the same place as you, and you ready to go full-fledged 100 on. You ready to press the gas pedal on her life. Somebody you grew up with, but you let the colonizer or the master come and walk through unscathed.
Because I think sometimes that comes back to how you view how the police reacts to stuff too. Because if a white woman gets attacked walking through the projects, it's code red. It's code red.
But I understand that. But that's the trigger moment where you have to understand. It's like it's not about whether the police will get called if that white woman is attacked or something like that. It's about the fact that why don't you treat your brother the same way you treat that white woman?
Oh, what's up? What's up, Salvador? What's up? I see you in the comments. What's up, bro?
What do you say? Talk about the Yankees?
No, Salvador. I think he's probably from Jared's side. But what's up? What's up? He's in the comment section on YouTube. My fault to cut you off, Ron. We barely get viewers right now, so we gotta acknowledge everybody. You know what I mean?
Nah, but like, what was I gonna say?
But you're right. But again, that's the only way I can really explain that. It's like the cops. If you beat up a white woman in the projects, it's gonna be code red, helicopters, and people, if minorities are killing each other in projects, the cops look the other way, man. So there is a fear factor that goes into that too, though.
We have to take accountability for ourselves and not do that to ourselves anymore. We learn after all this time, like they don't care about us. The only person that cares about us is us. So we have to take care of us.
It's true.
We don't talk about those things. So I mean, that's why Kwame Brown is right. What he's saying, he's like, yo, like, because that's what it is. You have these elitist Black people that think like, oh well, ha ha ha, I got this podcast and I have this platform and I'll say whatever I want. And then like Kwame Brown pipes up and like, you can't say whatever you want.
No, you can't. There's a few of them. Like, who's that guy, Jason Whitlock? I don't like his ass either.
Let's talk about it. It's like, yo, like Steven Jackson, what has Kwame Brown done wrong?
Other than
nothing.
Like, nothing. Right?
But George Floyd, but Steven Jackson will go full-fledged out for George Floyd.
Supposedly like, was your best friend or whatever, but he didn't have money for nothing. So it's like,
that's the thing. This is what I'm saying. You want to talk about, you want to go all out for your mans, but Kyrie Irving is the one that had to buy the house to get them a house for his children, his family.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, well, Steven Jackson, what are you doing?
You right.
Can march, you can say things, and you can get the bullhorn and do, blast it, gas everybody up. But it's like, what do you? At the end of the day, what are you doing for him and his family, his kids? When you got money, don't act like you ain't got money. You got.
I'm sure he's making good money off that podcast too. Plus, he made millions in his career. I mean,
and ESPN money,
good player.
ESPN money, the podcast money,
Fox Sports money,
your NBA career.
He makes cameos on Skip and Shannon.
You got bread. It costs $300,000 to buy somebody a decent home outside of New York City or like LA or like the Bay Area. Anywhere else on planet Earth in America, you can buy somebody a decent sized home for $300,000. If I had that type of money, it wouldn't be a question. If something would happen to you, God forbid, or anybody in your family, if I had that money, if I had that type of money, no question. You my man.
Exactly.
Like, yo, like, no question. Take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just what I just don't understand. It's like,
because he was in the forefront there talking about George Floyd, Black Power, and everything like that. But then, like you said, Kyrie had to buy the house. So it's like, if that's your best, that's my best friend, how come he's begging for money outside or he's passing off counterfeit 20s and stuff like that? Like, if that's your best friend, it just doesn't add up to me. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Bro, yeah, you already know what time it is, man. It's Black elitism, man. That's what's gonna be starting to become the new crux of our like existence is Black elitists, because now like they're getting money and they're getting opportunities, and there's people that are still being left behind. And like, not everybody can be rich. I understand that concept. Not everybody can make it, quote unquote. I understand that concept. But like to shit on you on open air, to shit on people that are the same as you, that come from the same place as you, is wrong in my eyes. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with the shits. You know what I mean? Like, I would never, you know what I'm saying? I know I have an ego and stuff like that, and I have narcissistic moments, but I mean, I don't think I'm above especially another Black man. I don't think I'm above them.
Well,
and I don't try to be like above them.
And you have an advantage over me because, first of all, obviously you're darker than me. That's number one. And even though my family is in the civil rights, when people look at me, they're not like my uncle told me when I was very pro-Black into Malcolm X and everything. He always told me, he said, even then, I'll never know what it is to be Black. And I understand that. And, I kind of took a step back after he said that because I was on my pro-Black tip a long time ago, before all this was even going on. And I realized I'm never going to be white enough for the white people or Black enough for the Black people. So I just am what I am. And I kind of just let everything unfold now. I don't really get involved. I don't even want to really talk about stuff like that sometimes because you kind of ruffle the wrong feathers. And then when I try to stick up for Black people and be more on my Black side, I get shut down. So it's like, I kind of just sit back and analyze what's going on, or I piggyback off of what you're doing. I know you're in the loop, so you know.
I'm in the loop, but I stay outside of the loop because I understand what it is. And like I'll break it down for you. You gotta understand what it is too. And we're moving into the future. So like what the future entails is we live in a country that's only 250 years old now, I guess we call it. Getting there, 250 years, right?
Yeah, it's young. It's a young country.
With that being said, we don't have a race.
Nope.
And if you think about it, like for instance, historically, so you look at the country Spain. The country Spain is comprised of like Black Moors, Romans, Germanic, Viking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nordic. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? All of these races combined to become Spain. What Spanish people we see today. Like that is from Spain, like Barcelona, Spain type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, America is still evolving into like that race. And that race is gonna be comprised of like blacks, whites, Latinos. You know what I'm saying? Jews. Whatever the different, ethnic backgrounds that we have in this country, it's all going to mesh at one point, and there's going to be a race. There's never going to be like these singular pockets of people. That's not gonna. And so, as much as like we sit here and talk about white people have to accept that. But as much as we talk about that with black people have to start accepting it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's like people get too caught up in this, like, well, we need to stick to our own, and it's like you can't stick to your own forever.
And not
everything has it's science. It's scientific fact. Evolution. You know what I'm saying? How evolution works. On a factual scale, not theoretical scale, but on a factual scale, you can't put all these entities in one box and not expect them to mesh in some way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
I forget who said it, but I always quote this person. I just can't remember who it was. I always say I was just telling my friend at work about that too. Eventually, the American race is going to be, like you said, just everyone together. It's going to be half black people, half white people. That's going to be called the American race. You're just going to be American. You're going to be mixed of everything. Down the line, that's what's going to happen. And that's why one of my coworkers was telling me on Thursday that night with the Knicks, when the Knicks won, he said, man, I seen a white guy with a black woman. I seen a black woman with a Chinese woman. I seen a Chinese woman with a Spanish dude. He said, everyone 20 years from now, it's just going to be mixed. You're not even going to have like a singular thing no more. Everyone's just going to be mixed, and that's going to be the American race going forward. It's going to be everyone's going to be together, and we're making progress, But I hate to see, in general, the rich white people stick together, and then in the urban environments, we tend to. Whoever has success, you're going at them like it's such a competitive world. If we just grouped up together, we'll be a lot better for it, other than just constantly you're going for the next man's head all the time. It's not about who's the best ever, who's the greatest. I think that's where we fall into that trap where it's like we're always like trying to be better than the next man, other than just holding on to that person. You just go along for the ride, man. It is, we just unite, just stick together in those situations. And you got your man there, like you're his best friend, but he's passing off counterfeit bills in 7-Eleven or whatever. It's just, it doesn't add up. And that's that dog eat dog world mentality that in the urban environments we have, and I think that's in New York too, because when you go out west, like when you're in California, those people stick together. Yeah, you have like the Bloods and Crips and all that, but at the end of the day, they stick together. And with us, it's more like we're just fractioned out. Like, it's just a different feel out here. It's just New York is just different. It's just a whole different. It's like a war zone out here for me. That's how I view it. We don't back each other like that.
We do.
You think so? You don't think it's more like
my block? My block is like that. We all sit together.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like in New York we just have things different.
What were you saying?
I feel like in New York.
I'm sorry, I got my
your
smoothie.
halal.
So.
What's that? Your halal?
No, smoothies. Cleanse, body cleanse, brother.
You see, that's that, bro. You listen, everybody. That's the thing. You see, that's where that right there. That's gentrification 101 right there, right across.
What are you talking about?
Smoothies.
This shit started in the Bronx. That Styles P stuff, man. Juices for life.
Listen, man, we don't. I'm not from the Bronx. I'm from Queens,
I know
baby.
You're not, but I'm saying,
Queens,
though,
baby.
Like, we gotta be healthy, man. We can't just be eating pork and shit, and shitting out pork rinds and shit, man. Like that's just not good for you.
Listen, man, I see you drink a whole 6-pack of that Malta shit. That is the nastiest thing in the world.
I don't anymore.
Good.
Anymore.
I don't know how the hell you drink that shit.
I didn't drink it.
You were drinking that Malta. I remember, yeah, you was getting busy on that.
We threw it out.
You're right. We did throw it out.
Yeah. Because your grandmother had bought it.
You with Malta then? For some reason, when I think about you, I think about Malta. I don't know why.
Talking about Los, not me. I don't.
Los ain't drinking no. I don't think Los is drinking. What's up, Los? Shout out to Los, by the way, but I don't think he's drinking Malta. I'm not sure, but he might. Maybe he does. I know Udelka's mom drinks it. She be getting busy on that.
That Dominican craziness.
Shit tastes nasty, bro. I don't know what. It's like a soda bean mix. I don't know what the hell that is. But you over there drinking the smoothies. What flavor? What you got?
It's some like it's the
most hood thing in the world. They call it the Woo smoothie.
The Woo, like Wu-Tang?
Nah, like Woo, like Pop
Smoke Woo.
Listen, that's too new school for me.
You gotta do better, man.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
That's the gang out here.
It's Woo.
The Woo gang?
Yeah, Woo. WOO. Woo.
Oh, Woo.
Woo.
Like who? Like Woo? Who is Woo? Like Woo?
It's a bunch of gangs that are like in one under one umbrella. It's called Woo, and then the other ones is like the Chews.
Okay.
If you talk to Jimmy could tell you, but it's a Brooklyn thing. It's not a Queens thing. It's strictly a Brooklyn thing. Like my block thing. Yeah, like my whole block is Woo.
I mean, I'm not no gang.
I'm not a gang member by any means. Not at all. All my friends are. That's the weird thing. Like all my friends are, except for you. You're not. Obviously, you're not. But I mean, like all my.
But I'm not. Yeah, like I
was in CSC. I was in CSC for a while. Across the Street Crew. What? Shout out to CSC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in the Crest Street.
I got asked a few times, but I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that's like a fun thing.
Like what's the
I felt like you gonna have me do something that you probably wouldn't do, but you tell me you would do it, but like I would do something and then I'm out here with a jacket, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here catching cases and shit, and you just sitting there out here chilling. But you told me to do something and I gotta do it. Nah, bro, it don't work like that.
But that just
am I lying though? It's different.
No, you're not lying at all.
Like, it's different from like having like a crew. Like I got a crew. Like you know what I'm saying. Like we all together in this.
Yeah.
But like gang, it's like you have all this leadership thing, and like, bro, I'm good. I'm straight.
So you tell me what to do, and I got to do it, and I'm not getting paid for the thing. For that, get a job.
Look at me.
Look in my eyes. I'm straight.
Fuck that shit. You ain't telling me to do
There's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, for that, get a job.
Yeah.
Or go to school. Learn something. It's okay.
Yeah.
Learn a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, I don't talk crazy. I don't talk reckless about it because, like I said, I got friends that are in it. You know what I'm saying? And
you never know who's watching. But...
No, I'm not even worried about it because we've had these conversations before. Like they know where I stand, and even though like they're like my age, they're like our age, right? They're gangbangers, but like they don't care about that shit no more. Like they got regular jobs,
right?
Like they do regular things. Like it's wild when it's like people are active at our age. that want to be active and out in the street. Like,
that's
bro,
like taboo. That's like almost like a taboo thing to see someone our age.
Like these dudes,
these
dudes, nobody's on the block trying to like, catch a caper or no shit like that. Yeah, bro. Like you see a lot of these OGs and stuff, they steadily still going to prison, like Trey D or something like that. And it's like, bro, like you too old for that, for the gang, for the block. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm happy you brought him up because I love Trey D, man. I think out of all of them, I feel like he's the most gangster one out of all of them. Is Trey D.
No, he's real deal.
He's real deal.
You seen you read Prodigy's book?
Mm-hmm.
And remember he talked about Trey D, how he held it down on stage with him or whatever. Yeah, that dude right there, utmost respect for him.
It wasn't 40 Glock, it was Spider Loc, right? Spider Loc and Trey D.
Yeah, Spider Loc. Yup. Shout out to another I was gonna say another Shade of Blue podcast. The Gangster Chronicles. I love the Gangster Chronicles. Everyone should check that out too. We love your history, West Coast music. Just urban stuff in general. They talk about Biggie and everybody. So if you love history, definitely check out the Gangster Chronicles podcast. And if you're our age and older, that's more your lane. Because we're not all about that new school stuff and all this drill stuff. And I'm not all about that, but
you're not.
You're not all about that new school stuff, man. You just appeasing. You're just pleasing the masses. You know that.
I don't appease the masses.
It's business. It's a business decision for you.
No.
There's some of it I actually like.
Not cool.
All of it is dope.
Not all of it is dope. I listen to Valet. I listen to like Young Thug. I listen to a little bit of Migos. I mean, not a lot of it, but like.
And you understand what they're saying? You're able to understand what they're saying? Because like I can't understand when they're rapping. I don't know what the hell they're saying.
Listen, man.
Listen. When I was in high school, I had a kid.
You have to understand the culture, right?
Like we talk about cultures and like the music that's attributed to their environment, right?
Yes.
I had a kid in high school that
was from Atlanta.
Okay.
No, he's from Macon, Georgia, but
like he grew up in Atlanta, but he's from like Macon or whatever.
Yeah, if you're from Georgia, you just say you're from Atlanta.
Completely country. Like he was smart. He's very
smart. Like he graduated early, but I could never have a conversation with the dude because the way he talked. It's not the lingo. It's some of it is a lingo, but it's like how they talk.
That twang.
Yeah, but it's
super like aggressive. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the tone.
Yeah.
But it's like so you can't understand what they're saying. So with that being said, like I understand why mumble rap exists because you have these Southern people that they talk the way they talk, and they talk so fast the way they talk. It's hard for you to pick up what they're saying sometimes.
So you think if I was from Atlanta, mumble rap, I'll be able to decipher it better. Yeah. I'll be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I can't
that's all it is. And if it's not your thing, that's another thing. That's perfectly fine. It's not your thing. Like, I'm not fucking with it. Like, that's perfectly fine. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not the person that's gonna sit here and act like, no, that shit is whack. Because it's like that's how they are. You know what I'm saying? I've been down there, like I've been around like Southern blacks, like Southerners in general. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of them talk like that. They have like this backwards way of speaking to each other. And like they be talking about something in front of you. It's the same thing like they come up here, like, and they like, what are y'all talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though we know what we talking about, like we saying whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Dead this, dead ass that, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever we doing, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like getting Smidak, you know what I'm saying? Like we saying all
thought it was.
Stuff. Yeah, what you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? We talk how we talk, so people come here and they like, what are you even saying? And like we can have those conversations up here. You know what I'm saying? That's why people are like, I don't listen to Ghostface because I don't understand what he's saying.
See,
but Ghostface is the quintessential New Yorker.
He's the illest. He's the illest. It's such a shame people don't listen to him.
No, it's a shame,
but you think about it, man. Like they show respect to them down there. This is the problem,
right? And this is the
conversations that I've been hearing, like ever evolving. And you've heard Hassan say it too, where down
in Atlanta,
they respect what we do up here.
They really do. Yeah. It's when we sit here trying to be like them, like, you know what I'm saying? You got like Pop Smoke or whatever doing like the drill rap. That's Chicago's thing. Let them do that. And like, that's cool that you want to emulate it. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like Biggie tried to do the Notorious thing with, you know, Notorious Thugs with the
But he crushed it.
Harmony. Yeah, but he knows that like he can only do that in that pocket. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna steal their sound completely.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so yeah. I
know what?
I learned to appreciate what people do from where they're from. And so like, you know, where we're from, I know like, you know, you hear records from me or you hear records from my friends or like things that I promote that are from New York. I'm gonna give you the authentic New York thing.
Yes.
If I'm listening to somebody in Atlanta or something like that, I understand. And I'm like, I feel weird when they trying to act like us.
But I've never heard them try to act like us. See, that's the problem. On my side, I've never heard them try to sound like us. I get upset that we try to be like them.
See, that's the thing. Like you know, you haven't been out in the world like I have. I've been out in the world, and it's not like to say you haven't been out in the world, but it's like, you know what I mean. Like I've been around a lot of different type of people, and yeah, they try. So there's a lot of people that try to be like us.
I would embrace that. I would embrace that because we're the ones who started it. So I would.
I do, but I don't, because it's like everybody you have to have your own individuality at the end of the day.
Yeah, but
when it comes down to it, you have to be yourself, and like, you know, if you're not, you know what I'm saying, you can't remake Illmatic. You just can't do it.
No, you can't. Wow, we actually have 3 people watching. This is amazing. But yeah, no. And you know, when we're on the show together, when Jared's not here, it's more political with us. It's more like race stuff, and we talk about, but we mix everything together.
Conversations, yeah. But I like it. Like, I'm more Joe Rogan than I am like you know, Stephen A. Smith. So
right,
I like talking about different things.
Yeah, and remember, Jared has that West Coast thing going on, so it's a little different. When we're here, it's more like a New York conversation and what's really happening. Because there's more important things as far as there is, and you know, the Mets never play because we're always rained out and stuff. So right now, there's not much for us to talk about on the sports
hold
side.
On, let's talk about something very political here, and it has something to do with sports. Okay. What's up with this bozo De Blasio? One day having the Brooklyn Nets stuff on, and then the next day talking about, yo, Trae Young, we coming for you with the Knicks hat on.
And then we got our ass kicked. He's like the kiss of death. If he's over there repping you, you're gonna get your ass kicked the next day. I mean. I'm as Democrat as they get, but at the same time, I don't like De Blasio's ass.
No, he gotta go.
He gotta go. Like they tease me when I say people gotta go. He gotta go. It's time. It's time for him to go. I actually missed.
We can talk about these games last night, though.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I miss Mike Bloomberg. I really do.
Oh well, yeah. We can talk about the games last night, though.
Yet,
we dropped the ball.
Wow, the Knicks got their ass kicked.
No, that's true. I don't know. Listen, man, Jason Tatum, man.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, well, Jason, forget about that. I mean, he went off. Kyrie returned to Boston.
Guy's a monster.
He returned to Boston, and like they said, it kind of took the light off of him a little bit. That Tatum went off for 50. So. And I know I was saying Tatum's not as good as RJ Barrett, but as of now, I gotta go with my man Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, we still gonna win the series, but you know.
Oh yeah. Probably gonna win the championship.
I'm worried about Milwaukee though. Milwaukee is very strong.
They look good, man. I thought the Heat were gonna take them out. I actually wanted to play Milwaukee more than I wanted to play Atlanta, and Milwaukee's locked in. Because Giannis is another one, the Greek freak. He's another one. He's tired of hearing that he doesn't do it in the playoffs. So, I don't know. They might take the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't see the Lakers winning. Yeah. I don't see the Lakers repeating. I don't see that.
Who's going to be?
What's up, Frank? I see you, my brother. I see you, Frank.
Who's going to beat him?
Shout outs to Frank, man. That's my man right there, Frank Rojo. He's laughing about the kiss of death stuff with De Blasio. He don't like De Blasio either. And he says Democrat as they get.
Nah, man. No respectable New Yorker likes De Blasio.
No, not at all.
He's a bum. Who, you know what I'm saying? You got like, you know what I'm saying? Who marries like a lesbian and has like these crazy mulatto kids, these muggle kids or whatever you got going on over here? Who does that? And then you run for governor? I mean, run for mayor? And then in the middle of a pandemic, you know we just get hit, and what'd you do? I think I'll run for president, bro.
Oh yeah, well that was.
We are collapsing over here, bro. And you what? You want to run for like no?
And that shit fell apart right away. That his campaign didn't even get. That shit was failure to launch.
See, if Bloomberg had got in early enough, I would have voted for Bloomberg. Real talk.
Yeah, and I think he was running on the Democrat side too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have went for him too. As crazy as that sounds,
they cooked him with that stop and frisk though. They killed him with that.
But you know, stop and frisk everybody. Stop and frisking only people in the hood, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah. There's a lot of these dudes out here a lot of these white dudes out here be having drugs on them too, just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else.
If not more.
Matter of fact, when I'm in Manhattan going to work, all the bums and everyone laying around doped up and passing out heroin, everybody's white. So I don't want to hear no crap about because I work in Manhattan. I see everyone's white. I see passed out in the streets. Everybody's passed out. Yeah. So it's all white people. So I don't want to hear no crap about
I think it's the same by Lisa too, where she works at. She works on works by 63rd and Lexington. So whenever she goes to work or when I go with her, yeah, it's mostly white folks. So
yeah, Frank is saying how much he hates De Blasio. I spoke to him yesterday about this. We had lunch together. We would talk about De Blasio at lunch. See, another shade of blue. We keep it real. Frank always says another shade of blue. We keep it real because you know it's just we don't lie here. We don't tell no fables here, man. It is what it is. You just gonna get the truth. Yeah. It's unfiltered. We keep it real in that shade of blue, man. We don't just talk sports. We talk about everything, you know. And the Kwame Brown, but this was all set up by the Kwame Brown situation.
You have to love it, like, because it's like this, right? Another shade of blue, right? Is like when you go to a baseball game, you talking about these type of things at the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is everyday stuff. We're talking about this stuff at a Met game. Yeah, we talk about
you be having a beer and you having a conversation, like having conversations about life, your kids, whatever, you know. So,
yeah, this is stuff we're talking about this at the game. This stuff where we talk about, you seen that Knicks game last night, or we'll be at the Garden or whatever, and then it's all related to each other. You know, it's not black and white everything. We just tell the truth here. I mean, it's not just about Mets and Dodgers and stuff like that. There's some stuff that needs to be spoken about. And the Kwame Brown, this got set up by Kwame Brown, which is obviously sports related, but then it kind of transferred over to this because it's all related. It's just about minorities, the urban community. We tear each other down and we don't build each other up. But then you look across the way, the Jewish community build each other up and they hold each other down in their communities. And that's stuff that we have to do. And it goes back to the 90s. Look, we lost how many rappers? Right now, we're losing more rappers than we lost in the 90s because it's a dog eat dog mentality.
What these kids, man, it's the year of like the crack babies or something, man. I don't know.
But we were the ones that grew up like these crack era and all of that.
But I'm saying though, like these kids don't understand like that like we don't understand them, but they don't understand like our struggle we came up in.
There's no respect for your elders.
It's like they
we live in a world now where it's like when we were coming up, we kind of had to do certain things we didn't want to do.
Right. There was no privilege. There was just, but you also had respect for your elders. If someone on my block was older, told me to do something, then that was what I was doing. It was just, you know, there was nowadays they look at us like, oh, you're an old head and you don't know what you're talking about and stuff. Come on, bro. I don't want to hear that.
But the thing is, like these kids now, they just do it because they want to do it. Because we did it. We did it because we had to do it out of necessity. They want to do it because they don't necessarily have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they want to do it because we did it. So it's like they making it like this weird tradition thing when it's like, bro, you ain't got to do all that. You can just like live your life and play Fortnite and make money and do whatever you're doing. Like you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You can make YouTube, you can make money off of YouTube. You can make legit money off of YouTube. I see kids buy Lamborghinis off of making YouTube videos.
Off of YouTube.
So why are you out here trying to trap for? Like, there's no need for it.
And then in our generation, the drugs were sold. Nowadays, you're doing the drugs. It's like, yo, that's just not cool, man. You're drinking lean, you're drinking cold.
It's different.
All that is crazy, man.
I think I remember when I moved back here, and I went to my man's crib. He lives in Williamsburg houses out in Williamsburg, and I got a couple other people's like my other man's. He stays in Fulton houses in Chelsea, and he stays in St. Nicholas Projects in Harlem. And like being in those neighborhoods, I noticed that things had changed drastically. They're drastically different than they were a long time ago. Like you remember back in the day, like everybody was outside.
Yeah.
It was open air drug market. Everybody's shooting dice. Everybody just drinking Henny. Like nobody cared. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody was like doing whatever.
What projects did we walk into? Not to interrupt you. What was the projects that we walked into by mistake? And there was people hanging out the windows, and we was like, I think we made the
George
wrong
Washington
turn.
Carver.
Yeah, there you go. We were like, I think we made a wrong turn. People hanging out the windows and everything. Was like, yo. Yeah.
But like, nah, it's different now because like you can't really be sitting outside like that no more. So it's like, so I'm like, it's the game has just changed. Like, so like all these kids are sitting there like, well, you know, we don't care what happened back in your day. And it was like, shit, it was easier back in our day. But you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have to go, and you don't even got to do it. You just making it harder on yourself for no reason.
They have everything at their fingertips, these kids. You know, we had to look, we had to obtain the information. There was an effort that went into obtaining the information. Now everything's at they have everything at their disposals right in front of them. And I think the how would I put it? Like their work ethic is, you see these young kids, we know how it is. Like at my job, sometimes you have these young temps come in and they don't want to work. You know, they're used to sitting on their tablets, on their phones. The work ethic is just not there because they never had to work for anything. With us, it's like we had to actually go out and obtain the information that we had. And there was a message in the music we listened to, even sports. You know, it's just, I hate the divide that we have because it's like we're in between, because it's like we're not so old and we're not young either. Like it's like we're kind of like.
I don't look at it like I'm old though.
I don't know how to view things anymore. It's like, but then again, you're not gonna see me listen to drill music and stuff like that because that's not who I am. That's not my thing, and it's
these kids make it seem like the worlds are drastically different, but they're not. These kids aren't like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was harder for us, but I mean, like realistically, they don't have nothing that we didn't have. The only thing that they have we didn't have is iPhones,
cell phones, internet.
We had cell phones, but like I'm saying,
yeah, but
I had a Nextel.
Money though. I mean, but when was your first phone? I had my first phone, 2005, 2006?
I had a phone in 2001.
But you're older.
I think
you're older than me though, so I have to take that. You're what, 4 years older than me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I had a Nextel. I had a like whatever, and then like Boost Mobile and like.
Yeah, but there was minute limits. Remember, you had to call me after 7, call me on the weekends as I had my minutes.
Yeah.
There was no internet on your phone, you know, unless you had, what was that, the Sidekick or whatever, you had the AIM Messenger or whatever. Other than that, you know,
I had the Sidekick too.
You had the side. I remember you had the Sidekick. Yeah, I remember that. My sister had one too. I remember.
Yeah, that phone was fresh actually. I wish I still had that chilling around here somewhere. But
I miss AIM. I do miss AIM. I ain't gonna lie. I miss
thought about
AIM.
downloading it on my phone. I don't know if it's still available.
Nah, it's gone.
Just to see who was on it.
It got killed off, man. They killed it off.
Shit.
Yeah, we're relics now, bro.
No, we're not relics, man.
You don't think so though? You don't ever feel like, cause look, when I went to Philadelphia a few months back, right? Udelka has a cousin. He's probably like 19, 20, and he's in first of all, Philadelphia don't play around. Those are the real, that's the truth out there. But he's like into that drill, he's in that drill music gang type thing they got going on over there. And it's like I'm standing there and I just felt like a stat, like I felt like just such a relic. I felt like I was like an antique. Cause like the stuff I actually said, yo, you ever listen to Biggie? Nah. I said, you ever listen to Tupac? You know what he says to me? I heard of Tupac and Biggie. I said, you never heard, like, I had to play Hit 'Em Up for him. And he was like, oh, this is, so you guys had good music back in the day. I said, yo, bro. I said, we had the best. We were the golden era. I was like, you know, but I don't know. To them, they feel like we didn't have anything or whatever. Meanwhile, they're living off the stuff that we built on. They never knew what it is to have a dial-up modem. And your internet, every time your phone rang, your internet got kicked off. And yo, bro, we went through stuff they'll never experience. And I feel bad for like my son, because I'm a hip-hop historian like you are. And I feel like my son will never have that experience that we had. We listened to Biggie when he was alive. We listened to Tupac when he was alive. We were around when these guys were around. And my son, my son's gonna say, oh, listen, I was around when Chief Keef was around. I mean, that shit is like,
yeah, but you said, look, come on, man.
You're a politician, and I understand you're a politician. I understand.
No,
that.
I'm not though.
I understand that you gotta say what's politically correct all the time.
No, I don't.
I know.
No, because a lot of people are trash, but there's a lot of influential people that do exist. Kendrick Lamar is.
Yeah. Okay. Look, all right. Yeah. Like I said the other day to somebody. Yes. Kendrick Lamar is nice for now. In this era, he's nice. But if you put him in the 90s with Buckshot and all that, he was just a regular rapper. Now, that's how I look at it. In our era, he was a regular rapper. Come on.
No, because you man, you gotta think about it. There was some whack rappers back then too.
Who?
A shit ton of them.
Who?
A lot of them. Group Home was terrible.
Who?
Group Home was terrible.
Capone?
You froze? Did you freeze? You froze.
Stop being politically correct. Let's name some names.
I said Group Home.
Oh, but you're obscure.
The Fu-Schnickens? Like nobody was listening to.
I knew you were gonna bring up the Fu-Schnickens for some reason, but that
Daz
was
Effects. Like, come on, man. Like Daz Effects. I wasn't into that shit.
Oh, you played Daz Effects? They want effects. It's Daz Effects.
There's a lot of stuff that back. There's a lot of stuff back then that wasn't.
Chief Rocker wasn't dope.
Nah, bro. Like I'm not rocking with it.
Guru, Gangstar, and all that. They wasn't dope.
Guru was dope. Gangstar was dope. But I'm just saying, like there was a lot of bullshit out there too. You can't sit there and
see. You know what? That's the problem. That's where the problem lies. We're not united as a generation either. It's not about race and where you're from.
No, like,
as a generation, we're not united.
Let me get this thought off
shit on us all the time, but we can't.
Let me get this thought off first. Let me get this thought off first.
All right.
I was having a conversation with the dude, right?
Yep.
He's a movie director and very knowledgeable guy. He's from Paris, France, but he's been living in Brooklyn since like 1991.
Okay.
He was telling me we was talking about how like
me and my other friend were talking about what would have been like, you know what I'm saying, if we were like this age back then, you know, or whatever. And he was like, yo, bro, you realize like with Biggie, right? He was like, yo, Biggie, like after Ready to Die, like when the second album was coming out, like right before he died, like when they put out Hypnotize, nobody liked it. It was panned. No, everybody thought like Biggie was whack. And then he died. And that's when everything picked back up. And like he was put back on a pedestal and shit. He was like, yo, man, people weren't really rocking with that shit after Ready to Die. Everybody loved Ready to Die. And then you had like that 3-4 year gap, and everybody felt like Biggie fell off. Because there was no in-between project. It was just Ready to Die and then Life After Death. And Life After Death came out after he died. Like the Hypnotize thing, people weren't really rocking with it. Like they were like, yo, it's cool, whatever. But it wasn't like the club smash, or like it wasn't like the hottest single out or something like that, man. Like at the time. It's like people you gotta talk to people that were like of like our age at that time.
Well, you're a couple years older than me, and
well, but you gotta understand something. When I was when Biggie died, I wasn't that old. I was like fucking 17. How old was I? 13. No, I'm not that old, man.
Because look, wait, no, yeah. Because think about it. He died in what, 97? So I was 12. So you had to be at least 15, 16.
No, I was 14. I was 13.
You're not a year older than me. No way.
No, I was 13.
Because I'm from 85.
How were you 12? No, I was 13, yeah.
Because in 97, I was 12.
It was early because you got to remember, my birthday is later on in the year than when he died.
And what year are you?
83.
82.
It was 13. 83.
Okay. Well, we're learning something new every day in Another Shade of Blue. We're breaking different news every day here in Another Shade of Blue. We learn something new every day here.
You make it seem like I'm mad old or something. I'm not.
I thought you were a little bit older than me though, because I'm from 85.
you just said 17. Like I already hit 40. Like I'm not even 40, bro. What are you talking about? I got a gray beard. But
you was around when Melly Mel was around. Come on, man.
Yeah.
The message.
I was eating Gerber food and shitting myself every hour on an hour.
The edge, shy.
No, but like I was a child. I remember I was a child at the time, like when Biggie died. Like, and I don't like when Tupac died. I didn't know the magnitude of it. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like when
I was still in like regular school. Like I was.
Yeah. But when
like I was still
died,
like I think it was in middle school.
It was a strange thing with Pac because it was one of those things where we were sort of like battling him on this coast. Like, you know, we looked at him like a traitor and stuff, at least for the time. You know, Pac was a little different than Biggie in that aspect. Like, I remember more Biggie than I remember Tupac. But then Tupac died a year early, and I was, 11 when he died? So, you know, but we listened to them when they were alive. You know, who my son's going to say, oh, I listened to Lil Yachty when he was alive. It's like, it's just the talent level is on a complete different level, bro. I know you're more nice to the new generation and stuff like that, but for me, I don't play around with all that mumbling and this.
You would like, but like, I think you would like Schoolboy Q.
I love Schoolboy Q. My dad and
but what the fuck are you talking about then?
But he's old school though. But Schoolboy Q is, yeah, but okay, but you're comparing Schoolboy Q and Kendrick Lamar. They're different though. Schoolboy Q's like a 50-year-old man, and he's in an old man's body. You ever see Schoolboy Q? He's old. He has this old school mentality. He's not doing no real music. He's keeping it real, bro.
No, that's fine. But understand, he's still part of this era though.
Yeah, but you could say like that too. But it's Vince Carter.
He's still part of this era.
But okay, but Vince Carter just retired last year. Is he part of this era? Vince Carter goes back to the 90s.
He played in this era, yeah.
Yeah, but
his career spanned 4 different decades. Well,
you know, I know you're a little. I'm a little more ruthless when it comes to the new generation. I think they're just whack. But that's me.
Yeah, just because somebody has an old school spirit doesn't mean you have to claim them for being from the old school. They're still part of this era. You have to respect that. I never understood about you where you just like, well, nah, they old school. Like, no, they're part of this era. Like Joey Badass is part of this era.
But is he part of this era? Because I was listening to Joey Badass like 2007. That's not part of this
No,
era.
you weren't.
Yes, I was.
What did Joe? Hold on.
Check. Pull up the numbers.
This is turning into like some chaos. You weren't listening to Joey Badass in 2007.
Maybe 2010. Maybe 2010. When did Joey Badass drop his first album? Because that's when I was listening to him.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
And I don't want to hear no crap neither. Because ask my dad or ask
2015.
Nah, no way in hell. Nobody was listening to Kanye West when I was listening to Kanye West.
Oh, yeah. 1999, the mixtape, his very first mixtape. And mind you, he was only 17 years old.
There you go.
Came out on June 12th, 2012.
We never lie around here, baby. This is another shade of blue. We don't lie around here. We state facts.
It's not 2007.
It was in this. I'm gonna quote you. It was in the same era.
2012?
2012 and 2005 years apart, brother. Same era.
Yo, man, stop it. The eras didn't change. There was no era that changed.
It changed it was in the same span. It was in the same lifespan. How about that? It was within a 5-year radius.
Yo, man, stop it. You're just doing too much.
I'm just telling the truth, bro.
You're doing too much.
You're too politically correct when it comes to this generation, and that's my problem.
I'm not politically correct.
Well, you're in the field, and I understand that. You don't want to ruffle feathers. You don't want to.
No, bro, you're not listening. You need to listen before you start saying things.
Okay, there you go. There you go. All right.
Listen. There's different music with different things. I listen to Drake. There's things that Drake does that I like. There's songs that I like that like I'm not going to listen to like Lord Finesse in the club. It's not.
You missing out.
It's not fun to me.
You missing out. You don't want to listen to Stranded on Death Row in the club?
Listen. No girl wants to listen to Ice Cube in the club.
Bird in the hand, baby. Bird in the hand.
I don't care what you're saying.
See, you're on the other side right now. I got no love for the other side.
No, I'm not the other side because you're not listening. Because if I go to something like the fucking like the Philharmonic in New York, I don't expect to listen to like anything else. I expect to listen to orchestra music.
I want to listen to that Schindler's List soundtrack by the Philharmonic. Yes.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You have different music for different things. I don't listen to just rap. Like you want me to be brutal?
Me neither.
I don't even listen to rap like that.
But I know good rap when I hear it though.
This drink just made my tongue blue. I didn't even realize that.
I see that. Yeah, you got the Blue Man thing going on right now. Yeah, shout out to the Blue Man group. But yeah,
the bluest drink ever.
It's another shade of blue. Your tongue turned into another shade of blue. That's the beautiful thing about the podcast. Look at that.
Yeah,
this is a beautiful thing, man. You know, but you know, we see like things different when it comes to certain things. Yes, we do.
No, because you just close-minded when it comes to music. That's all.
Yeah, you say I'm closed-minded. Yeah, whatever.
But you are. You have this narrow view of what you think it should be, and it should always be like that. You don't allow things to be. You put boundaries on things, and when the art is limitless, there's no boundaries to it. You can not like it. That's fine. Don't buy into it. But like, I don't buy into it, and I don't even say the stuff I don't like. I don't even speak on it. Half the time, like when you bring it up, when people bring it up to me, and like it's something that I just don't think that's really that good, I forget it even exists. So like, if you were to ask me who I think is whack, like I don't even know because I don't play whack shit. You know what I'm saying? So
you're my big brother, and I love you, and I always respect your musical.
DMX came out with an album yesterday. It was trash.
They said it was trash. I heard it was trash. But that's not him. But that's not him.
It's trash.
That's not DMX though.
So I mean,
Dr. Dre's new, what was that Compton album he just came out with a couple years ago? That shit was whack, but that's not Dr. Dre. No, he's on the end, you know, you're on your last leg, bro. Like, that's not Dr. Dre.
The album wasn't whack.
The Compton album?
It wasn't great. It wasn't like the Chronic 3, but it wasn't whack.
For Dr. Dre, it was whack, bro.
Nah, it was good.
You know whose new album was all right though? The General's List, Trey D. I was messing with that album. That was my album right there. The General's List on Volume 2.
I've never listened to a Trey D album in my life.
You never listened to the East Siders?
Bro, I'm just not into that shit.
You see,
I'm not into
all,
LA shit.
You're anti-West Coast when it comes to music, and you know that.
No, I'm not.
Because you get at me about the Chronic, how I idolized the Chronic album, and you say it was all right. But for me, there's nothing better than the Chronic. In my eyes, you know.
That's a lie. I listen to Hieroglyphics. I listen to Planet Asia. I listen to LA artists. I listen to Dilated Peoples. I listen to Alchemist.
Dilated is nice.
I listen to Cypress Hill. There's certain Ice Cube things that I like.
Cypress Hill had like a coast twist though.
I liked West Side Connection. I liked
Mac 10 and them, Ice Cube.
I like Mac 10. Dub C. I love Dub C. Dub C's phenomenal.
But you're not down with the E40, Mac Mall, stuff like that.
I don't understand it. I have to go to the Bay Area to be there and understand
Mac
it. Like, I can't. Like I don't get the Bay Area thing. My mouth looks crazy right now.
Yeah, you got the Blue Man Group going on right now, but you know what I mean? But the tongue fits the show. It's another shade. It's more like a purplish blue though. But it's another shade. Shout out to Jared, man. We miss Jared, by the way, man. Tomorrow, I think Monday. I miss
Kyrie. I miss the
Kyrie of YouTube.
Kyrie. I call it a Nacho Libre Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yo, Jared's my man, though. I like Jared. Shout out to him, man. That's my guy.
Nah, Jared's my guy. That's my guy too. I love Jared.
He really is my guy. I fuck with Jared heavy. I feel low key if we were in like hanging out together, that'd be my guy. That'd be like, yo, you my guy. I fuck with you.
He's real calm. He's really calm.
Yeah, that makes it always makes everything better when somebody is calming. You know, when you have a calming aura energy, it makes the whole world better because you're just like, yeah, this is my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be all right. You know.
My energy is always calming and loving.
You're calming, and then you get like you're like an earthquake. You're like the tectonic plates. Like everything's fine, and then one morning it's like you just move, and the earth has to shake and shit.
Because I keep things authentic, and the problem is everybody wants to hear the lovey-dovey stuff. Everything's love. Sometimes you got to keep it real, and I call it how I see it. I said I'm wrong. A lot of times I'm actually wrong more than I'm right. But
so sometimes here's what you gotta think. What you think is real doesn't necessarily make somebody else's reality what it is.
Look, this is how I look at it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, because look. You know what it is? You sell yourself short. Because look, I feel like we've been around. When I listen to a rap song, I know what's good and what's not. There's no, they grew up in a different time. No, lyrics are lyrics. That will never change. You're either good or you're not good. And these days, 95% of them are not good. That's just, it has nothing to do with the age. If Joey Badass was 17, I thought he was dope. Has nothing to do with that. If you could rap, you could rap. Look at what's his name came out from the Locks. What was his name back in the day? The youngest member of the Locks. J Hood. That was I thought he was super dope. I thought he was the best rapper around for a while. So I don't want to, you either have it or you don't have it in sports. You're either good or you don't have it. I trust my music knowledge enough to where if I hear something that's good, I know something if you can rap, you can rap. If you can't, you can't. It's that simple. But
I feel like this, man. I just feel like you just It's hard to put it into words. And I know I'll wake up at like 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, that's what I was trying to say.
Am I that perplexing where it's hard to put into words what's happening here?
Yeah, because you're fighting something that doesn't need to be fought. It just doesn't need to be fought. Like you just like, you know what I mean? Like I know how I'm built, right? You know what I'm saying? I know how I'm built. So like I just don't even acknowledge certain things that like aren't part of my energy.
Okay, so you're right.
So I can't get no, let me listen.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
So with that being said, like when I don't want things around in my energy, I just leave those things alone and they don't exist to me. So it's like when you get upset about things that you don't really want to be part of your energy, I get confused because I'm like, well, just let it go.
Okay.
Because people are going to make that stuff regardless if you want to listen to it or be around it or not. So it's like you might as well just let them do what they do and let them enjoy. Let these kids enjoy their music because it's like. Because what you're doing, you're being rebellious, right?
Yeah.
Our era was being rebellious. Their era is the same thing. They're being rebellious to what they think we hold. It's not even the fact that like we don't even hold. You just got an old soul. Like you hold on to all these old adages that think it has to be a certain way when it doesn't have to be a certain way.
So it's okay to see like, I mean, I know this is ancient history now, but it's okay to see like Young Thug who says he's a Tupac of the generation or whatever. It's okay for Young Thug to disrespect Ice-T. Like Nas wasn't disrespecting KRS and all that. You have gatekeepers, bro. There's elders that you have to respect. This new generation has zero respect for what everyone else.
Because KRS, but let's be honest, KRS-One is an asshole.
I'll tell you that.
I don't care about his personal views. The dude can rap though. Could he rap or not?
It doesn't matter.
But at the same time, you co-sign a pedophile, so I can't fuck with you.
Well, listen, I never said I listened to African Bambaataa. I never even knew there was some pedophilia going on with KRS. I didn't even know. You're breaking news to me right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like the world is a wicked place, man, and people make you believe things that ain't true. This goes back to the beginning of the show. People make you believe things that are not true, bro. And so, like, I'll be the first one to tell you, don't
believe everything you read.
Don't meet your idols, man.
Yeah,
a lot of these dudes are clowns and buffoons, man. Don't meet your idols because you're gonna be super disappointed.
That's something I believe in too. I agree with you there, my brother. Definitely.
You know, so it's like, I think that's the point we have to get to is like, we respect what people did back in the day, but it's like, like we don't have to respect you because it's like Ice-T does too much.
What aspect though?
Because here's the thing, like I feel like he does too much when he's not even that fire himself.
Yeah, like bro, why would you?
Your music wasn't even that fire compared to everybody else back in the day. So what you talking about? Why are you waving a flag when you weren't even the best of your era? You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You just made but no, listen. You just made you're not even that good of a rapper. You just made a controversial song that was anti-police that got you this big widespread fame and all this stuff. And now you play a cop in television. And that's fine. You do what you want to do, brother. That's your world. Like you want to do that, that's how you do it. But don't step on the next man because they see you for what you are and they're gonna call you out on it. It doesn't matter if that person is 45 and 50 years old or if he's 20 to 25 years old. Young Thug ain't wrong for going at him and telling him what it is. Because it's like, yo, bro, you're not even the best of your era. How you gonna sit here and tell me what real hip hop is when you weren't even keeping it like that? You did the same thing Vanilla Ice did. You made a record that was super controversial.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you did, and that's your career. You didn't do anything past that. You did the Colors song on
Colors, but it's legendary. Like, it's legendary.
Let's just call it. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
From Long Island, New York, by the way. That's another thing.
Exactly.
He's from Long Island, New York. How you rapping about gangs down in LA? But yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Why is he doing an investigation into Tupac's murder? It's kind of weird. Then he's doing an investigation into the murder.
See, now you was talking about being a cop killer. Now you want to be a full-fledged cop. Stop it.
Yeah, but
let them do what they supposed to be doing.
Yeah, Ice wasn't the greatest of all time, but he's better than Young Thug. So if you had to listen to a Young Thug album or Ice-T album, where you going?
Young Thug.
I can't hate on that. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but as an older person, it hurts to hear you say that. But
but here's the thing. Here's the problem. You're not old. That's the problem. You say you're trying to act like you like Joe Rogan, 50 years old. You're not old.
Well, tell my body that I wake up every day and I'm sore.
Bro, listen. You're not even out of your prime yet. You're still in your prime.
Nah, man. Listen, I'm not philosophy no more. Now I'm just Phil. You understand? Before I was philosophy, I was Phil Dog. Now I'm Phil the third now.
Nah, stop it. You still in your prime, man. You still, as a man, as a human being, as a man.
Yeah.
You're not even at middle age. You still young. You still in your prime. You middle age when you're 40, bro. That's middle age. Huh? Oh, I thought she was gonna talk shit.
You were ready for it too. You was just waiting for it to kick off.
I thought she said, you say something, Lisa?
She said Ice-T was better than Young Thug.
Oh.
She was like, Ice-T is better.
No. But like,
it's disrespectful though. Like, so how do you not know who Guru is? And these dudes, so Guru wasn't better than any rapper out now, and Guru was middle of the pack for us. You understand what I'm saying? Guru was middle of the pack for us.
That's fine.
But he's the greatest. If you put him in this generation, he's the greatest of all time.
That's fine, but they didn't grow up here.
You're talking about the Southern rappers,
like Young Thug and like Migos and all. They didn't grow up here, so like their exposure to it probably isn't the same. When they had things like they had Outkast.
I was gonna say you're selling Outkast short then.
No,
because they were dope.
No, they were. And if you listen to some of the stuff, you can hear the influences from Outkast. It's not just like it's mumble rap and then you just call it mumble rap and like niggas is blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? No, like some of like the what's his name? Gucci. What is that? What the fuck is his name? Little
Uzi Vert, whatever the hell his name is.
No, not him.
Little Yachty.
No, the dude that did the Gucci shit. The Lil Pump. That's it, Lil Pump.
Lil whatever. Everyone's little something.
Bro, your shit is trash. I'll tell you, your shit is trash. I'll tell that motherfucker, your shit is trash. I'll tell it to his face. You ain't do nothing. I'll punch you in your face. You say something.
But see.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, there's stuff that's whack that I'll be like, yo, bro, that shit's trash.
You listen to Little Pump and Little Uzi and little this, Little Yachty and little this.
But here's the thing. You got
little that.
Up. Little Uzi Vert, he can actually rhyme. He just chooses to do what he want to do. If you put him up there, he rhyme. You'll be like, oh, I didn't realize you were this fire.
Like Travis Scott or whatever his name. He's whack.
What?
Dude,
yo,
okay.
Bro, stop.
Oh, listen, man.
Ask the viewers. What do you think? You think
Travis Scott is whack, right? But the thing is, tell Ryan how whack this dude is. Okay, did you see the BET thing that Travis Scott did with what's his name? The one that Ghostface was getting at, the white dude that sounds exactly like him. I can't remember his name now.
Action Bronson?
Action Bronson, Little Kim. It was Travis Scott. He was the worst one there. You don't know what he's saying. Little Kim came out. She killed it. Action Bronson killed it. And he's over there looking like he don't even know what's going on. He don't even know what rap is. Bro, get off the stage, bro. This is not, you're not getting, go back into your league, you minor leagues. With this major league, these are legends we on right now. So, but that's just whatever. I guess I'm an old soul, like you say, but I can't rock with it. I can't rock with it.
You're old soul. You're old soul, but you're biased. You're New York biased.
But how? My favorite album's The Chronic. Doggy Style's my second favorite album.
That don't mean shit.
All my stuff is West Coast, though. My favorite rappers are West Coast rappers.
Have you listened to a Chopped and Screwed album?
Yes, actually, I listened to the whole Chronic album, Chopped and Screwed. Yes, I did. I'll send you
By
the link.
DJ Screw?
I don't know who DJ what, but I know it was Chopped and Screwed though. Yes, matter of fact, Mad Mike.
But did you listen to it during the time that Chopped and Screwed was popular? I'm talking about the late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, I was more back in the late 90s. I was more my Puff Daddy. I was more my Black Rob, Snoop Dogg, Warren G, Mr. Grimm. I was, legend.
You have a way of looking at things.
Junior Mafia in the late 90s.
And here's the thing. I didn't hear one Southern group, a Houston group.
Nah, you know who's the best Southern rapper of all time, in my opinion, though? It has to be Mystical. That dude, I had his Ghetto Fabulous album. My favorite Southern rapper, no doubt, is Mystical. To me. I was bumping Mystical back in the day. My parents would let you know that. In the 90s, I was listening to Mystical. So we used to laugh about the Ghetto Fabulous album and all that, but that was my dude from the South. So I'm not biased, bro. I listen to everybody. But what was his name? Scarface and them dudes were good. I forget the name of that group now. Lost Boys. Yeah, the Ghetto Boys.
Okay.
The Ghetto Boys.
Then you got UGK, you got
UGK was
MJG, you got 3 6 Mafia.
Bubba Sparks.
You have all these groups.
3 6 Mafia, Bubba Sparks. The Brat. I think the Brat was from Atlanta. Maybe I'm mistaken though.
You weren't buying these albums. Look, the Brat's from Chicago.
Okay, well, I was still listening to it, but I'm naming. You see, you can't accept the fact that I'm not biased. I'm naming. Who's naming Mr. Grimm?
Come on, just because you naming him doesn't mean you was listening to him.
So you don't think I was listening to Indo Smoke back in the 90s? That was my jam.
Who?
Mr. Grimm. Indo Smoke. I wasn't listening to that shit back in the day.
I don't even know what the fuck that is, man.
Thank you. Eazy-E. I was listening to Eazy-E back in the day. I had my speakers out in the living room. I'd be blasting my speakers, my music. Then we had the little stereo. I'll be blasting doggy style out the window. So don't try that with me. I'm not biased. Matter of fact, most of my favorite rappers are not from New York. I actually like to listen to rappers out from New York. You know what I mean? It's like
you are biased to an era. That's all it is. You're biased to an era. That's all it is.
I love Schoolboy Q. Is he part of that era I'm biased to?
No, he's not.
I love Action Bronson. Was he part of that era?
You weren't bringing any of these people up until I brought them up.
I wasn't talking about Grandmaster Flash.
But you were saying everybody from this era is trash. But when I told you Schoolboy Q's part of the era, then you
he's not part of this era though. He's not.
But he is though. He's still dropping.
See, we have our time frame. The where we're coming into friction, you and I, we have the time frames a little mixed up. That's what we're not seeing eye to eye.
Your time frame is fucked up. That's why.
Nah, man. I know you got an album out and everything. I respect your opinion. You know that, but. You act like you wasn't around back in the day when we was bumping all this stuff, though. See, I feel like you question my hip hop knowledge and stuff. Like,
no, I don't question it. I just question why you haven't been able to embrace what's new and just let it be what it is.
Because it's disrespect. It's disrespect that this new generation has, and I can't get down with that. I can't. I respect my elders, bro. I'm from '85, so it's a little. I respect my elders, man. I don't like LL Cool J, but I'll take him over anyone that's out right now. Well, you gonna tell me you wasn't bumping Round the Way Girl back in the day?
No, because my mom was bumping that shit.
Exactly. So you grew up in the
my
era.
My father and my stepfather were bumping that shit.
Right. But stop talking on the lollipop. You know that was your jam. So that was your joint. So I don't want to hear nothing. That was your jam.
Slick Rick was my jam.
Now he's someone I never really listened to, so I can't really say yay or nay to
bro.
Slick Rick.
Yo, I'm about to beat you up, man.
But that was my dad's era, though. But that was my father's era. We didn't come up listening to Slick Rick. I came up listening to Puff Daddy, Biggie, Nas, Warren, the West Snoop, Dre, Exhibit. I grew up on that. I didn't grow up on Slick Rick. I was born in 85. Slick Rick got like 3 albums out by 85.
Listen, it's not like I was like listening to these albums like I wasn't that old. It's just what my parents listened to. So like I just listened to it by default. It's not like I was like, yo, I
Put on that Slick Rick.
Yeah, I copped this new Slick Rick album and I'm like 5 years old. I'm listening to stuff that my parents are listening to.
And see, if I was so biased, like you said, you know what album I ran out and bought every time Bubba Sparks dropped something, I ran right to Coconuts and FYE or the FYI, whatever, the old record stores. I was running out buying Bubba Sparks, Kanye West. I bought the College Dropout. I went and got that the first day it dropped. I had the College Dropout. I was bumping Kanye West like crazy back in the day. So I don't want to hear I'm biased, bro. I'm not at all. If it's good, it's good.
It's good to your tailored specification.
Talib Kweli, the Reflection Eternal albums, like right up there with Illmatic and The Chronic and Ready to Die. You see, you say, yo, you're being disrespectful to a Brooklyn legend. I think from Brooklyn too, Talib Kweli. So I'm disappointed in you in that
Kweli's a bozo though.
Man, but you're looking at him personally. But musically,
like,
the guy's a genius.
But you forget, like, I'm around these people. I don't think he's a genius, though.
You didn't think Reflection Eternal is one of the greatest rap albums of all time?
He's masqueraded by other great artists. He's masqueraded by other great artists and other great producers. He's not
high tech.
Yeah, he's surrounded by people that are vastly superior to him, but they're able to balance it out to make him look good.
So all those things he was rapping on, Reflection Eternal, Train of Thought, that's not really him?
No, that's him. I'm just saying, like, people know how. Listen, when you're producing music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your job as a producer is to elevate somebody to get the best out of them.
Too Short just had a story about Dr. Dre with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen when you have high tech in the room. That's what's going to happen when you have Kanye in the room. Kanye is going to bring the best out of you. High tech is going to bring the best out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing that and like you have other artists like you working with, like a Common or Mos Def or Pharoah Monch or whoever is around at the time, you can insulate yourself where everybody, like, a lot of things are going on within a song. And then like you do what you do and like people overlook your glaring mistakes of like how dope you are as a writer. I don't even think he's that good of a writer.
No, I can't believe that. See, sometimes we end up on the opposite end of the spectrum too. You know, like
Train
of Thought is there with Illmatic.
I'm a very skilled writer. So I mean, like I understand and know how nuances of certain things. I've broken down Illmatic 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
To the point I can't. And listen, to be realistic with you, I can't even listen to Illmatic now.
No, me neither. It's not like I'm bumping that on the train going to work or nothing like that, but it's a masterpiece.
No, it is, but I just can't do it because I've broken the album down to a science.
Yep.
To a T. So there's nothing I could learn from Nas ever. To be honest with you, I don't even like listening to Nas that much.
Nah, same here. It's fatigue. It's not
nothing
fatigue,
I'm getting.
though.
I don't know if it's fatigue. It's just I think I get to a certain point where I feel like I'm such a good writer myself that I was just like I'd rather do it myself.
Did you ever listen to that the Streets Disciple album?
Yeah, and I liked it at the time, but
that's one of my favorite albums too, man. I like the craft. I'm like you, but we're the same, but we have different things. Like I love the craft too, and I love certain sounds and stuff. And I think Streets Disciple hit the spot for me, even though a lot of people never talk about that album. It's one of the best albums that I've ever listened to as well. But
I'm not sitting there. I listen to Radiohead. I don't even care.
I'm not biased. Phil's never biased. I'm all about everybody. I'm all about the people.
But you're wearing a shirt that says it's shouting, I'm biased.
No, it's just about mumble rap right here. But that's
you're being biased. You're being biased.
No, that's more about me catching flack for not loving Tupac. But who I got on my shirt? That's what I'm saying. It's not like you said. It's not. Don't believe everything you read, brother. Just because I say something, sometimes I'm right here though. Look, I got him on my chest. I just don't put anybody on my chest. So it is what it is. I left you speechless. You see what I'm saying? When
you don't leave me speechless.
There's a science behind the thing.
Here's the difference between me and other people. You don't leave me speechless because I don't have anything else to say. I go speechless because I'm tired of beating my head against the wall to make you understand something you're never going to understand. So I just know what to be like. You know what? Let's move on to the next topic.
See, now you're like my wife. You try to make it like I'm crazy, but
no, you're not. No, you know what? Don't see. This is what I hate. This is why I tried to tell you that shit in the group chat that one day. Yeah. You were like, "Yo, like you're insane. You're crazy." It's just don't do that. That's dismissive.
But when you say, I'm always on against the world mentality, brother.
Listen, even when somebody thinks you think that somebody's trying to say you're crazy, it's dismissive. You're not crazy. Nobody's crazy. Well, there's some people that are fucking nuts, but I'm just saying, like, you're not, you know what I'm saying? It's dismissive to just call it what it is. Like, it's dismissive to make it seem like I think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy. You just committed to something that, an old ideology that just doesn't exist anymore.
I got my man Frank in the chat laughing, but
I know he's laughing probably because
he knows me from where he deals with me all the time. So
he probably like, yo, how are these two friends? Because I listen to the same shit and I agree with Ron. He's saying the right thing. Phil, I've been telling him the same shit at work every day. He don't listen to me, but you know, whatever.
Cause I'm old school. I'm old school. I you know what it is? I set my feet in the trenches and I'm a ride or die for what I believe. I'm not gonna give these new school cats a chance, bro. I'm just not. I'm not gonna water my roots down. I'm not gonna water what I believe in down to appease everybody else. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I don't care how sensitive they are. Do they care about us when they say we old and we're whack and all shit with that we're living in the past? Do they care about that when they're disrespecting us? But I'm supposed to care about disrespecting them? Fuck them. I know this is another shade of blue. This is a family show, but
it's not a family show. It's just a show.
It's a family-oriented show, bro.
Listen, when you make it a family-oriented show, that's when you start doing daddy daycare shit, man.
No, we have our daddy moments here. Shout outs to the moms. And we have our daddy moments here. Shout out to my kids, by the way, because my son watches the show, by the way. Little Phil the Fault. So Daddy loves you guys. Daddy loves you.
Does he?
Yeah. He said what he said? He said, Daddy, I can't wait for you guys to come out with merch. I said, well, subscribe to the show.
Yo, man, son, your kid ain't said.
Yes, I have the message. You see what I'm saying? You be trying to like twist it like I'm making stuff up.
Listen, let me find out your kid is grown. Say it's all your pots. I need some of that merch, bro.
But Ron, you know that's the new generation. This is a YouTube generation. That's all they talk about is merch. You're a little bit out of the loop, man. That's the problem.
I'm out of the loop.
You think you're so much in the loop that you're out of the loop, if that makes sense. It's not what it seems like all the time.
No, because I don't make things that relate to a 7-year-old child. So I'm not in any loop because I don't want to be in that.
I'm in the loop.
I don't make shit for 7-year-old kids. My daughter is 13, gonna be 14, bro. Like
look, I'm in a New York loop, I'm in a West Coast loop, I'm in a 7-year-old loop. I'm just all around. I'm one nation, like Tupac would say. I'm one nation. I'm everybody in one. But he said he wants to merch. He did say that. I have the message right here. So
what's the fuck you gonna do with the merch? I'm surprised he's sitting there watching it. I'm surprised your baby mom's isn't like.
No, she actually lets because supposedly. But according to her, they watched the show, and it was her who messaged. It was her who messaged me and said, "Alan said, where's your merch?" So for her to say that, I think he did say it. So I'm gonna ride with that. Let me have my moment, bro. Why don't you just let me have my moment? Let me shine for a second. You gotta be the center of attention for everything.
No, I don't.
Gee.
Well, I admit I am bougie, but no, I don't need the center of attention for everything.
What if he want? We're gonna have some merch, another shade of blue. So
let me design it. I'll design it for you.
We don't want no weird stuff though.
Listen.
Can we just be normal for a second? We don't want no weird
That's the problem.
Stuff.
I'm not gonna make some like 90s shit. We be like, oh, this is the great shit. When you can't sell that shit. You gotta sell shit. You gotta sell things that people are going to buy so you can make money.
So what you trying to say? Like stuff that we grew up in, no one wants them no more?
No, nobody wears Sean John. Nobody wears Fat Farm. Nobody wears Rockaway. Nobody's wearing Jabot jeans. Nobody's wearing Calvin Klein like that no more. Nobody's wearing Guess. You know, like nobody's wearing Cross Colors or Carl Kanai. Nobody's wearing any of that shit. Nobody's even wearing FUBU anymore.
Nah, they kicked
FUBU
out my job. FUBU got kicked
so let me design this shit for you.
I know what you're saying.
Let me design it for you. I'll design it for you.
They kicked FUBU out the job, man. They're gone. They wasn't doing it no more.
What, your job?
Yeah, FUBU got kicked out, yeah. But it was actually Warwick Dunn's brother. Speaking on the sports tip, it was actually Warwick Dunn's brother was the manager up in FUBU. He was like the office manager there. And the guy from Shark Tank, I used to see him in his office.
Damon John.
Yeah, I actually cleaned his office a few times. I seen his pictures. He had pictures of Obama, and Clinton, and all of them. And then Warwick Dunn's brother was like the office manager.
See, that's what it's like. Yo, fuck these old ass niggas, man. Who the fuck around no Damon John, man?
See, you know what it is?
Sure. No, because you know what it is? It's time for us to be in those offices. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what it is. I'm cocky. You just not cocky enough. I'm
very humble. Everyone knows how humble I am, man.
I don't care about the rules, man. Like, yo,
there's a respect factor, bro.
Listen, man, what respect?
You got to respect the people who came before you. I respect those hustles. I respect
don't.
How they got
not when you really know who they are. Then you like, nah, I don't care what you did. I'm willing to kick over your statue and not care.
You ready to go dog pounding on New York? You ready to do Snoop and Corrupt, kicking down the buildings and stuff like that?
No, I'm not kicking down the buildings because I respect New York. But like when you put erect a statue, best believe, and I find out you a bird, I'm knocking that statue over. I'm pissing on your grave.
See, but you have a different way of looking at it because I'm the opposite way. Like for me, you're like a living legend to me, right? And when you drop projects and stuff like that, I pay extra attention to what you do and I listen to your album in detail because I respect you and I respect your craft and where we come from. With you, that seems like it goes out the window.
What do you mean?
Like you don't respect. Like, I feel like you kind of shit on the ones that came before us and you kind of side with the new generation with that, where it's like, oh, that stuff don't matter. That's old school. That's in the past. Like, you know, I'm going to just kick your building down.
Because I've been in conversations with certain people that this is where, like, our worlds separate, right? Like, I'm around certain people. I've been around certain people of certain statures and, like,
well, you know the behind the scenes stuff. You used to tell me stuff.
I've been around people like Steven Spielberg. I've been around people like Nature or Tragedy Gaddafi.
Oh, what a disaster that was! I was telling my man did a song with him, whatever, and I was telling the story about that. But yeah, but your incident with him, not an incident, but your experience with him.
With Tragedy?
Yeah, it was a horrible experience.
It wasn't like horrible. It was just like I just know like you. You know what I'm saying? You're you and I'm me.
Right.
Not to be I'm not gonna be disrespectful on a show. So you know what I'm saying? But like I could be disrespectful.
It was not.
And that's why I tell people all the time, like don't meet your idols sometimes.
Yeah. No, that's
because if you meet your idols, like you know what I'm saying, like I'm regular. I know I'm regular. I don't have nothing to cover up. I don't hang around with people that have to cover up anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a creep. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a philanderer. I don't grab at women. I'm not a drug addict.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Not at all. Nope.
I can get on my rock star shit, though. I can be an asshole, but like, I'm not, but I don't subscribe to certain things where like these other people, they subscribe to them things and it's like, and they treat people like shit.
I see you a lot of people sometime, yeah.
Huh?
I see you get fancy sometime. I seen all aspects of you.
I'm bougie. I'll be the first one to say
Yeah.
it. I'm bougie.
I'm
My
ready,
wife
man.
will tell you, my mom will tell you that. I'm a bougie dude. So like I like things a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very particular about things. But like that's what makes me perform at a high, you know what I'm saying, at a very like, you know what I'm saying, articulated rate. I don't when I do things, I don't make mistakes per se. So like I guess that's why like I can look at somebody like before me because I learned from who I learned from. Like, you know what I'm saying? I learned from Ghostface, I learned from Nas and Jay-Z, and I've
Same.
learned from like
We
Slick
learned.
Rick.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But like, don't get it twisted. What? Why you give me a look for?
She said, "You don't listen to Jay-Z. What the fuck you talking about?" She was
But I
like, "He
learned
didn't even
from those.
listen to these dudes."
Yeah, I listen to those. I learned from it. So it's just like, I don't know. These guys.
But you know what it is? Because I remember back in the day. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like when you play ball with like, you know what I'm saying, like a son plays ball with his father, right? And then it comes a day where his father can't be his son anymore. And that's just how I feel. Well, you can't just beat me up because I'm your kid anymore.
Because I remember back in the day, you would tell me behind the scenes stories of certain people and how they were and stuff. And because you're more in the loop with that. Yeah. I remember you used to tell me, "Oh, don't listen to this person." Not that don't listen to this person, but I remember you like, "Oh, you don't know what I know about it." And then you would tell me the story. And I started looking at that person kind of funny too. But like, but you know, yeah, you're more in a behind the scenes thing than me. But don't take the innocence away from me, man. Talib, whatever you know about Talib
Listen,
Kweli,
you can't
let you know about that. That's Talib Kweli. Reflection eternal, my brother. Train of thought.
You can't keep continuing to think that Santa Claus is real.
Oh man, I thought Santa was real this whole time. You see how you?
No, I'm just saying, like, in more metaphorical terms. Well, you better hope your boy don't watch this show. But like, no, I'm just saying, like,
nah, you can't. Santa's real, Alan. Lil Phil, Santa's real. Don't listen to Uncle Ron.
No, but like seriously though, like at one point, you know, you have to realize that like a lot of this stuff, I mean, it has to be ruined because if it keeps going on the way it is, the game is going to be the way it is.
What does Snoop say? The game is to be sold, not to be told. I think that was.
Yeah, that's somebody. The person that said that needed to hide something. That's why.
Ah, okay, all right. No, I won't argue with you with that. That's for sure. You're the man behind the scenes, so I can't. I'm not at those industry parties and stuff, so. But I just take the albums at face value, you know. I don't.
No, as you should.
You know, but I know where you're coming from. You see stuff a little different. Because you know the truth behind the person. You know who's behind the mic. I know what you're saying. Yeah. You see the smack.
I don't put on no airs.
Yeah. Huh? You see the smack before the punch.
I don't hold no. Yeah, I don't like me personally. I don't put on any airs. I'm just me. I'm regular. When you talk, I'm just cool. You know, that's who I am. I'm just cool. I'm not anything more or anything less. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's all.
So let me be me.
It's all bullshit at the end of the day, man. It's all acting. That's all it is.
Yeah, Tupac knows about that. Yeah, Tupac was that. But let me be let me be me. You know what I mean? Let me be an old soul.
Because you see what it is, man. I had this idea the other day, right? It's these dudes that do like Vlad TV.
Yep.
It's like Vlad TV is only built for dudes that are too real, but their careers never did anything.
I noticed that too, and it's kind of like embarrassing for them. Like I see those dudes,
and all they can really talk about is their old war stories.
Or you know what I don't like? I feel bad like when they have like Napoleon and them on, and everything's about Tupac. I'm like, bro, this is their interview. It shouldn't be about Tupac, you know? But
they didn't do anything important.
Like who they have on the other day? His whole thing was about Jay-Z. It wasn't even about him. It wasn't like what he's doing now. It was just about Jay-Z. I forget who it was. But I feel, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
It's all about the next man. Is a war.
That tells you what it is. A lot of these dudes that are on that got their stuff together, and they're not criminals. Nobody's out here doing wild shit. And the ones that are, they're huh?
Trady says that's not true. Trady says he's still doing what he got to do.
No, I'm saying what I'm talking about is the people that not on the show. People that actually have albums out that are in the industry that are relevant on the radio right now.
Oh, you trying to say
the people want
not relevant?
No, he's not relevant to who?
To me, the generals list, baby, the part 2.
You see, that's the point. When it comes to the rest of the world, don't you go ask your son who Trady is, and go ask him who Bad Bunny is.
Who's better?
It doesn't matter who's better. Ask your son who Trady is, then ask him right after that who Bad Bunny is. He'll be able to tell you who Bad Bunny is compared. And he'll look when you say Trady.
My son would be like, my son would be like, Bad Bunny. You talk about that clown, the guy that looks like a clown. He dresses like a clown.
Man, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Come on. Oh Lord, we got. You know what? See, with us,
where's you Delk at? Where's you Delk at? Because I know she love her some Bad Bunny.
She not here. But
yeah, she do love her some Bad Bunny, don't she?
She ain't here, right, baby? You ain't here. But yeah,
we'll have this conversation tomorrow.
She's
there, and I'll be like, yo.
No, but because she gets on me about that too. Like, it's what's whack is whack, bro.
Bad Bunny's not whack though.
How do you know?
Because I listen to it.
And what does he say? That can you just
because he's Spanish.
Exactly. You don't know what
it's Spanish shit. But it don't make you got the same feeling that Hector Lavoe gives me or Willie Colon.
Oh, this is so
What?
You're putting him in the same sentence as Hector Lavoe and Willie Colon.
As far as this generation and impact with these kids, yeah, it's the same.
You're losing me, man. I'm trying to revive you, but you're losing me.
I'm not losing you. It's just
I'm not getting the pulse. You lose.
Bro, you listen.
I got to talk to my peoples about that. Frank, Bad Bunny's on the same level as Hector Lavoe and Willie Colon. I'm not Spanish, so I don't know. But I'm old school. I've been around long enough to know they're not in the same league.
Why are they not in the same league? Because it's newer?
No, because it's not good.
He don't. The only difference between them is he doesn't have the legacy that Willie Colon or Hector Lavoe has. But he has the same impact as Hector Lavoe did back in the day. Bad Bunny has the same impact on the people today.
Oh,
is your girl listen? Is your wife listening to Bad Bunny in the car on the way to work?
No.
Don't lie to me.
No, she doesn't. Not that I remember. Nah.
I mean, now once.
Nah.
Don't you dare. I know she listens to Bad Bunny.
I don't want to put words in. I don't want to speak for her because then I got to hear it later. But the thing is
yeah, because
I got to hear it later. Like, I listen to Bad Bunny. But if I knew for a fact she listened to Bad Bunny, I would tell you. But as far as when I'm around, I don't hear Bad Bunny. I hear Hector Lavoe. I hear like Aventura and Romeo. And she loves Tego Calderon. Like, she pays homage to the legacy because she's only a couple.
I've been in that car where there was no homage being paid.
There was mad homage being paid. What are you talking about?
It was straight reggaeton and that.
Because you was in the car.
It's not playing for me. I don't care.
She knew you was new school.
Stop. You know. Stop.
Ron, I'm so disappointed because usually you and I was on the same page. We're from the same era, and I feel like now you abandoned me. You was the same guy that was listening to Cormega with me back in the day, and you was marveling at how nice Cormega is. And now
I just talked to Cormega though.
I
just talked to him.
You just talked to Cormega?
Yeah, I told him, like, oh, bro, thank you for everything you've done. I'm the reason why I am because of you. He said thank you.
But then you're paying. So then what's your deal, bro? What's your deal? What's going on?
What do you?
You know what? I'm here for you, my brother. Let's talk. I'm here. Let's talk. What's on your mind, bro?
Nothing.
Who in the past did something to you that you disrespect in the legends?
Well, I didn't disrespect anyone. The only person I disrespected was KRS-One. That's the only person I was straight up disrespecting.
I didn't know about no pedophilia. I didn't know nothing about that. All I know was the bridge is over, and he had some other stuff that I like back.
He was okay. He was okay with Africa Bambaataa doing things to children. So I'm not cool with that.
And I wasn't even on top of that until I started listening to Hassan Campbell. Then I started figuring out what was going on with that.
So yeah. I'm not rocking with anybody.
Yeah, see, look what Frank said. Frank said, nope. Frank said, Bad Bunny. He was like, Bad Bunny who? You see what I'm saying? That ain't Hector Lavoe, bro.
How old is Frank?
Frank's probably around, Frank, don't hold me to this. I would say Frank is maybe 50. I hope he's not younger.
Bro,
sorry,
why
Frank.
would you ask? Why would you ask somebody that's older than us about Bad Bunny though?
Because you're bringing up Hector Lavoe and Willie Colon.
But he can't make the correlation because he doesn't. But
he has a 13-year-old son or whatever, 14-year-old son.
And I'm sure his son hangs out with girls that listen to Bad Bunny.
And his son plays Fortnite, and so he's onto the new stuff as well. He's not a relic.
But he's not listening to Bad Bunny in the same vein as somebody that's like our age, that is in between that our parents listen to Hector Lavoe and then we listen to Bad Bunny. And you can decipher and understand the difference. Because at the same time, Bad Bunny's gonna sell out the Garden just like Hector Lavoe sold out the Garden back in the day.
Frank, you see what I got? You see, Frank, this is the thing. Oh no, Frank's 53, he says. He's 53. My dad's 53. I don't know. But yeah,
It's like ask your dad if Bad Bunny is relevant.
Who do you think put me on the Schoolboy Q though? Was my dad.
Well, your dad's a G though. See? Now you ain't gotta come and talk to me, Big Phil. I already know what time it is. Respect. The real recognize real.
You guys gonna have to talk. You guys are gonna have to talk, but I can't wait. I want to be there for the talk, but then I don't want to be there for the talk.
And it won't be nothing crazy because what you gonna fight me? I'm not gonna fight you and fight your dad, man. It's not gonna happen. You just say what you gotta say. You mad about what? All right, then. All right then.
He's right about 1968. Frank was born 1968. So Frank, is it disrespectful to put Bad Bunny in the same category as Hector Lavoe and Willie Colon, the Michael Jordan of that era?
What's his name?
Francisco. I call him
Francisco. Frankie. Strip away the legacy. You can't correlate the two. We already know Hector Lavoe and Willie Colon are legends.
Yes.
Bad Bunny is not a legend.
Nope.
I'm just saying Hector Lavoe had an impact on your generation, like you know what I'm saying, my mother's generation. My mother is 63. The same, he has an impact on her. Bad Bunny has the same impact on these kids now. These kids will be listening to Bad Bunny when they're my mother's age. That's all I'm saying. It has nothing to do with like they're not legend. Bad Bunny's not a legend. I never said that.
Can we go just on talent alone though?
What is talent though?
Talent is something that's there, you just can't see it. It's faith, brother. It's like faith. It's there, you just can't see it.
What do you mean?
There's a science to it, and I don't want to make this into a science class, but you know what? I don't want to get out that realm right now, man. I'm in the zone right now. You trying to get me out the zone? See, Frank said no. Frank said nope. Frank said no. See, Frank, that's my brother right there. We always see Frankie now. He's one person that we always see eye to eye, him and I, all the time. And
you
right
old,
now,
bro.
He's looking at you like you crazy right now. But
because you old.
Who's old?
You old. That's why you don't get along with the older dudes.
But with being old comes wisdom, my brother. That's the thing. You ever see the movie Colors? Speaking about Colors and Ice-T, you ever see the movie Colors? What did Robert Duvall tell Sean Penn? He was like, when they're looking down, or something about the bull, the story about the bull or whatever. Remember, he's explaining to him like just the science behind the wisdom and the age. You got to respect that, man. Frankie came before us. Frankie was around in that era. You can't just gloss over the fact that he was there. He knows what he's talking about. Look at that. Frank said, my son doesn't even want to go to any of his concerts. Thank you, Frank, for confirming what I'm talking about.
That's fine, but that could be his son's taste. But every other kid in New York is going.
I don't know what to say about that. Like, I'm not in the business of Bad Bunny, so I don't really.
I'm not even in the business of Bad Bunny. I just understand like what the magnitude is that these kids love Bad Bunny for whatever reason it is.
But why? Is it because he looks like a clown, or is it because his music is good? You don't think the theatrics behind it?
I've listened to a couple of albums, and he does have some good music. He's not a bum.
Yeah,
for being a reggaeton artist.
Is he in the Romeo? I'm from the disco era, baby. Yeah, that's what Frank just said. Frank said, I'm from the disco era, baby.
I respect it.
You were disco in the old school, man.
I'm not, bro. Come on, disco died. You know, it did. It's like the 80s died, the glam rock died.
I always tell my mom that because my mom always says the 80s was the best. I said, Mom, that shit is over.
But I still listen to 80s music.
See, I didn't like the 80s era. I'm from 85. I know I was a baby, but I didn't like their music style. The disco era was better.
I listen to Bruce Horn. I still listen to, you know what I'm saying? I listen to Flock of Seagulls. I listen to, who was I listening? I was listening to Devo, Talking Heads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your name dropping.
Bro, I don't fuck around with this thing, man. That's why people like, when you have a conversation with me, you really have to have the conversation with me.
But so you're putting my knowledge of the game down in a way, like you're not respecting where I'm coming from.
I don't know what you listen to or don't listen to. I just know what I listen to, and I just know the wide range that I have. So when somebody has a conversation,
I'm biased.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you just have a certain bias to a certain era when it comes to rap. I'm not saying that you have that with rock. I'm not saying you have that with classical. I'm not saying
rock group of all time.
Radiohead.
All right, I'm Nirvana and the Doors. 1A and 1B is Nirvana and the Doors for me, and then No Doubt is like a distant third.
But what my favorite is it probably the greatest rock group of all time. I just like Radiohead because they're ahead of the curve. They're avant-garde, and those are the type of things I like. Now, if you want to say the best band, I would probably say like Led Zeppelin or Guns N' Roses. Early Guns N' Roses.
School. Frankie says to tell you everything dies in time, bro.
Hip hop hasn't died. It's been 30 years.
Hip hop's dead. Hip hop's dead, Ron. Come on. We love hip hop. You know, hip hop's dead, bro. You know that. Come on. Hip hop is dead. Hip hop is dead.
To who?
To us. Hip hop's dead. Yeah, hell yeah. Hip hop is dead. You know that. Nas even said it. Your favorite rapper of all time said it. Hip hop is dead.
Yeah, but now we got Benny, we got Conway, we got Westside.
You don't even like them though.
Because they're not as good as me. That's why.
Because I was the one telling you I like Benny the Butcher and Conway and all them. You was like, oh, those dudes is whack.
I just told you why. Because they're not as good as me. That's the only reason why I don't like them.
I'm not saying they're better than you because they're not. But they're bringing some real stuff to the table, though.
I respect what they do. So then you say it. It's not
and they're
dead.
from New York, so you gotta give New York rappers.
You have Al Divino. You have
upstate New York, Buffalo. But
yeah, you have Makami, God Fahim.
You ever listen to the Doppelgangers?
No. Euro Drew.
All right.
There's a lot of people out here that are still doing it. So it's still alive, man.
In spirit, but in talent, we put hip hop to bed a long time ago. They have their gravestone and everything, bro. In spirit, we're still around though. And I say we because I consider myself a part of the hip hop community. I used to rap too, so I feel like
I think when you stop listening, or you stopped exploring. You didn't stop listening. You stopped exploring.
Frank is laughing. He said he loves Tekashi 6ix9ine. Dude is trash. Call it what it is.
Cool, Tekashi?
Yeah.
Tekashi does the same thing MOP does. He does the same thing as Onyx. It's no different.
Hold on a second. So now we're lumping Tekashi in with Sticky Fingers, Fredro Starr, and MOP. Cold as ice.
Just yelling on records? Yeah. That's all he does. That's all they do.
What? Now there's an awkward silence going on. Even Frank is there. Frank is just standing at the thing like, what? What's going on?
Said the same thing. When he first heard Tekashi 6ix9ine, that's the first thing he said. He said, yo, all they did was make the MOP of this era for kids.
But MOP was good. But then you have something with MOP though, because you used to see them in Coney Island or whatever. So you have a different, again, you're coming from behind the scenes though.
No, but
I'm taking that for face value.
I'm talking about a music value. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, music value. Yeah.
That shouting rap thing, he's not doing anything different than what Fredro Starr's doing.
But their songs were good though.
Some of Tekashi songs were good. Making a good song, making a good record, and being the greatest rapper doesn't always intertwine with each other.
Wow, look at that, Frankie. Frankie just put the rat emoji up. He said rat.
No, I know he's a rat. But before he was a rat, people were buying his shit though, weren't they?
People are teenagers or like little kids. No adults that took care of themselves to listen to Tekashi, bro.
Don't let that lie to you, because you know what? You can say it's just kids, but he made a shit ton of fucking money, and that all just didn't come from teenagers. So don't let that shit lie to you. Don't let the SoundScan thing confuse you.
What did Lord Jamar say? He said, "Have you ever walked down the streets of New York City and heard coming from a car a Tekashi song?"
Yeah, I have.
You heard people bumping Tekashi coming from their car.
Yeah.
You must be in a different New York than me.
Yeah. Well, your neighborhood is a
what
boogie.
I got to go through, Frank. It's not
your
easy,
neighborhood.
Man.
Your neighborhood is a boogie. You go to Bushwick or something like that, you're gonna be playing Tekashi out there. Not now, but like back in the day, they were.
I'm from Queens again. I'm from Queens. We was Nas.
But you live in the Bronx, so when you go outside, you expose the Bronx culture. So when you go outside, you know you're listening to some girls listening to Cardi B. No, they're not.
Eric B.
Ain't nobody listening to that out there. Nobody our age or younger is listening to Eric B and the KRS-One. They're listening to Cardi B. They're listening to A Boogie. They're listening to Don Q.
You see the look of confusion on my face?
Unless they're Frankie's age, if I could see that.
Frankie, he keeps trying to call you out on your age, man. But yeah.
Bro, nobody our age is listening to KRS-One. I'm sorry.
Are you sure about that? Are you?
I know that
for a Silent Hill universe, because like you're in a different realm than me.
Go outside right now too. When you go past the first car, you go outside right now. No.
KRS. The other day they was bumping KRS outside.
I'm sure the other day they were, but 9 times out of 10 they not listening to KRS-One.
You don't think they listen to Big Pun, the greatest rapper of all time?
Sometimes.
Big Pun, baby.
Not
KRS.
all the time. They're probably listening to Chris Rivers or some more so than they listen to Big Pun.
Shout out to Chris Rivers. That dude was nice. But yeah.
This era. I think it's time to wrap it
Noel
up.
Ortiz.
Yeah, he's nice.
All right. You know, I feel like we're in an alternate universe here, man.
Nah.
I see Frankie said another shade of blue. We keep it real. You see what I'm saying?
What do you say? He's out?
He said another shade of blue. And when he says that, we joke around at work. We always say another shade of blue. We keep it real. We don't hide feelings around here. We just call it how it is.
And that's all I'm doing right now.
Yeah, but you're being a little nice to the new heads though too, because you're sort of in the business. You are. I'm not going to say sort of in the business. You are in the business, so you have to play it right. And I'm adult enough to know that. But behind closed doors, we'll talk about something else. But you got to be politically correct. You got to be safe, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to be safe.
All right, man. I got to get out of here. I love you.
I love you too.
Well, I'll get up with you tomorrow for sure in real life. We'll
Oh yeah, you're coming over the house, right? You're coming over the house.
Yeah.
What time you gonna be here?
I don't know, like 1, 2.
Don't make you not gonna be hooking it up in the kitchen.
And
you never show up.
I would rather come. No, the only reason why I come today is because the rain, man. It's nasty outside.
Like they say, you made of sugar. You gonna melt? Or is that saying too old school? That saying too old school.
Want to. Yo, man, chill out.
I love you, man. I see you again.
All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
I love you. Tell Lisa. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Yeah,
Frankie, you have a great night, man.
Tell Lisa I love her, and we'll talk about it. Then we'll definitely be seeing each other tomorrow. Don't come over in a negative vibe and all that, which is all love. It's love.
I'm always good, man. So yeah.
Because you seem irritated with me right now, but it's all love, man.
I'm not irritated. I'm tired. That's all.
Yeah, see, when you gotta debate with me, man, it's hard to keep up.
You wear me out. That's all. You wear me out. But
I know.
That's all good.
I love you, man.
All
love
right,
you,
man.
Lisa. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
All right, man.
Thank you, Frank.
Peace.
Peace out, brother.
Peace.